As they welcome in Patoka Lake Athletic Conference rival Mitchell. Hello again, everyone. Mike Hamilton being joined by former Springs Valley head football coach Kevin Mills as the Hawks look to get a jump on PLAC play with a victory and open the home portion of their schedule on a positive note. They'll have 5 home games this year, 4 straight here. That'll include games with Paoli next week, West Washington in 2 weeks, Tell City the week after, and then after a 3-game road trip, we'll finish the season at home against the North Davies Cougars. Well, Valley would just as soon forget about what happened last Friday night up in Little Cincinnati with a constant downpour throughout the first half of play. The Hawks struggled to get anything going offensively, got off to a bad start, gave the Eastern Green T-Birds outstanding field position, which they cashed in with a pair of touchdowns, tacked a safety on, and after 7 minutes of play, Hawks were down 16-0. The good news is they allowed just 2 touchdowns the rest of the way, and I know Kevin Mills, Mark Hammond hoping to build a little bit on that here this week as he goes up against this Mitchell team. Yeah, definitely, Mike. I just thought that, last week, Eastern Green, went state finals last year and, came back with 10 seniors starting on defense, and they just took over the game early and took us out, kept us from being able to move the football. And like you mentioned, our defense, I thought the second half especially played awfully well and became more aggressive. Our defensive line, Mike, looks like it's going to be the strong part of our team. We got some seniors up there and strong kids, and I look for them tonight to really have a really good game here against Mitchell. And, this game here, I'm sure Coach Hammond, Coach Pritchett, they probably circled it on their calendar that it's a big game for both teams. Mitchell, got beat last week and one where they probably thought maybe they had a shot at winning. Valley had, probably the toughest opponent last week in our area, and it was, although we came out on the short end, we did see some positive things. But tonight, probably coming away close tonight won't really get the job done. Whoever wins this will get some momentum for the rest of the season. Well, it'll be a homecoming again of sorts for Mitchell head coach Troy Pritchett. He'll be making his 3rd return here to French Lick as the head coach of the Mitchell Blue Jackets. He's won the previous 2 outings, so Valley hoping to end that. They've also not lost to Mitchell 3 consecutive times since they lost a 4-game stretch from 1980 through 1983. And over the last couple of years, too, Kevin, Valley has lost each of their first 4 games before picking up their first victory. So, again, an opportunity here for Mark Hammond's team to come out and make a statement. Yeah, Mike, we mentioned that last week, and I talked to Coach Hammond about it. It's just our schedule got top-heavy with a lot of the strength at the front. But really overlooking, if you look at the schedule for the rest of the season, I think you're going to see, probably besides Paoli being probably the strongest in the conference, all the other teams are about equal, and it just matters how well you play on that Friday night. I think, Valley could win several games this year, and they're going to be some close ones. It's just going to be a matter of pulling those out, and, it would be nice to, like, of course, tonight, and I think tonight, one of the biggest things is going to be is we're going to have great weather. This time of year to get a night when it's 70 degrees is a big benefit for everybody, especially the players. It's really tough on kids when they're playing 85 degrees, a lot of humidity, and especially when both teams are playing a lot of guys both ways. And the skies have cleared a bit. Don't see too many ominous clouds like we did earlier in the day, just a few sprinkles here and there, but the field should be in good shape for tonight's football action. Tonight it is Springs Valley and Mitchell. The Jackets lost their season opener as well at home to the Edgewood Mustangs 26-7. So one of these teams will pick up not only their first conference victory of the year, but their first on the season as well. When we come back, we'll be joined by both of our head coaches. First, Springs Valley's Mark Hammond, followed by Mitchell's Troy Pritchett on our coaching report. That follows this timeout. This is Springs Valley High School football.
Score big with the region's best internet deal for the best speed. Here's some great news. When you switch to Smithville for our nationally recognised internet service, you automatically get our best speed available. We don't sell speed tiers or data caps. So if you're tired of reading the fine print on internet speed, get Smithville's rock-solid internet platform. Go online today at switchtosmithville.com and get Smithville's best speed. That's switchtosmithville.com.
This is the Springs Valley Football Report with head coach Mark Hammond as the Blackhawks return home to face conference rival Mitchell. Well, Coach, last week as you took on Eastern Green, the defending state runners-up, you knew they were going to be a tough opponent, but I think Mother Nature may have proved to be an even tougher opponent, raining the entire first half and wet field throughout the course of the game, and certainly had to make it tough. Obviously, it was tough for them too, but maybe with their size and experience, they were able to kind of get the better of things.
Yeah, I'd say, going in there, I think they end up with 14, 15 seniors that played last year, and we talked about it after the game, just that extra 6 weeks of practice and stuff. I mean, those kids were definitely fired up and ready to play last week, and I think we were too. But once the rain hit, I think, it's kind of like, horse racing. You got some mutters out there, and you got some not, and I think they're probably a little geared more toward a game like that than we are right at the moment. And we'll get better at that. If we have it, we have it. And that's why I told the kids, later on sectional time, that could be an opponent we see and could have weather like this, and we got to step up and play. So, it definitely didn't help Colin Jackson out, first start, at the varsity there and trying to, get them incorporated into quarterback. So the weather definitely ended up being a major factor. And as we all know, it was a factor for both teams. But I think it definitely weighed on us a little more than Eastern Green. But Eastern Green's still going to win plenty of games this year and still a really good team. But I don't think we got a true look at what our team can be this year from last week.
Gave them a short field with a couple of turnovers, the safety, but from the middle of the first quarter on, did you feel like you played pretty competitively with them? Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing we had to take away. They come out, I think, kind of like we thought they would, as far as pretty confident from last year and having that run to the state and having quite a few of those kids back. But like I said, I think we just got shocked a little bit with the whole evening and starting. So but yeah, watching film after the kind of, like you said, quarter into the first quarter there, I thought we hit them just as hard and was able to make some plays. And, we did move the ball some. We had way too many penalties and mistakes as far as, maybe not fumbling it to them, but fumble snap or just, like I said, not completing the pass when it was right there. It looked like it. So again, that was tough, but overall, watching the film, it maybe wasn't as bad as we initially thought. But a lot of times that's the way it is. Not as bad as you thought, but not as good as you think either sometimes. So something the kids can watch and try to learn from. And the only good thing is some of the corrections were really easy because it was just they're overrunning some stuff or getting too anxious on some plays or whatever. So again, I think that'll come with settling down in each game and each week.
I was going to say, with new kids in new positions, new formations, new plays, I'm sure. Did you feel the execution for the most part was pretty good? Yeah,
I tell you, I do think it started breaking down a little bit more as the game went on, and I think that was because we were probably trying more stuff to try to do that's in our playbook that maybe we haven't practiced as much, and so we started getting a little sloppy on the film. At least I feel like toward the end of the game we were getting a little more sloppy than we were early in the game. So that's why I said kind of looking at the film, it's like we actually wasn't executing too bad here, just got to clean up some blocks here and clean up some things there, but overall it was fine. But as I said, I think later on we started looking a little sloppy because again we maybe changed some players in and out or like I said, just trying to do some things we haven't really had to fine tune yet. So those things will come, and I think we'll be fine as we move forward.
Did guys come out of the game fairly healthy?
Yeah, I think we had a few little Colton Reynolds had an ankle, but I think he's fine. Shipman hurt a knee, but again he's going to be fine tonight. And then in practice, I think Caleb McCracken kind of hurt a knee again, but again, all those guys are ready to go. So no health from the game. Unfortunately, I do want to mention, since we're talking about that, we did lose Hunter Courtney, sophomore, in a JV game this week. Broke his collarbone, which I hate to hear that. We're praying for him and then getting a quick return and get back here. But again, it's injury's part of it in any sport. Unfortunately, I know football gets a lot of it, but in any sport it can happen. So, but we should be pretty good tonight.
All All right. Well, as we turn our attention to this Mitchell Blue Jacket team, as we've known Troy, anywhere he's gone, has been able to turn a program around, and I don't think this Blue Jacket program is any exception, and I'm sure looking for a pretty tough team to come in tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Mitchell, like I said last week, got beat by Edgewood, and I think that surprised some people, but I think Edgewood is going to surprise some people all up and down their schedule this year. So I know he probably wasn't, Troy wasn't real pleased with that effort, I'm sure, and just like we wasn't real pleased with our effort against Eastern Green. So, both teams are going to come into this and still searching a little bit for the identity for this year, but they run what they run. There's not a lot of plays, and they run that T, and they run right at you. And with the Brazel kid, I mean, he's a load. We've been talking all week. We got to get on him and get multiple guys on him to get him down. And then offensively, they're going to bring a lot of pressure with us. They run that 3-3 stack, and they're going to be coming at us and giving us a lot of pressure. So we got to be ready for that. So I think it'll be a good ball game. And like I said, hopefully our execution holds up throughout the whole ball game. And the big thing, which we talked last week, is we just need a good start to the ball game. We really do. And I think, you watch last season compared to all the way through last season. And those games we had a pretty good start. We was in the ball games all the way through, whether we end up winning or not. But, we last year, I think, went up there and turned the ball over first two possessions, and they was able to get up on us a couple touchdowns. And with their style of offense, they're happy with that. They'll run a clock out before you know it and run a quarter out before you know it. So again, that's going to be real key this week.
All right, and as is almost always the case, how the teams do down in the trenches will play a factor.
Oh yeah, I mean that, like I said, with their style, they're going to get low and try to get off the ball quick, on the offensive side and defensive side. But that's their style of play when they're running that T. They're just wanting to be a smash mouth football team, and it starts up front. And we've challenged our line. I know Colton Reynolds and Nicky Jones in there. They're going to be ready for that task to prove that we have the better line, and hopefully that'll show us throughout the game that that's going to give us the edge.
And Coach, as we close out our talk for this evening, first of four straight at home, first of four conference game, or first of three straight conference games as well. So, needless to say, a very important stretch. Yeah,
very important to get started off. 1-0 in the conference. I think we've not been able to the last year or so, and we need that for our kids, for confidence building into a big week. Of course, as we go on against Pale in West Washington. So again, always big to play Mitchell. It's become a rivalry, of course, with Troy moving up there. It's even a bigger rivalry for a lot of people outside, but Troy and I are good friends, and between the whistles it's going to be all at it, but afterwards he knows I'll do anything for him and he'll do anything for us, so we'll see what happens. All right,
Coach, thanks as always for the talk. Go out and get them tonight.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
And this has been the Springs Valley Football Report with head coach Mark Hammond. The Blackhawks take on Mitchell. We'll have more of our pregame in a moment. This is Springs Valley High School football.
Springs Valley Bank and Trust Company personally extends an invitation to our customers, community, active service personnel, and veterans for lunch on us. Our Appreciation Cookout is Friday, September 21st from 11 to 1 at our Valley Banking Center. Register for a prize, receive a gift, and enjoy a scoop of Springs Valley Swirls ice cream. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. No purchase necessary, need not be present to win. A copy of the official terms and conditions are available upon request.
He's always one of the favorite coaches I have the opportunity to work with during the football season, a native son of Springs Valley, and people still remember the mark he left at Springs Valley. But Troy Pritchett, good to catch up with you again. Tell us a little bit about this version of your Blue Jacket football team.
Well, Mike, thanks. Again, it's good to get down here and have a game on what was my old stomping grounds, and I had a chance to be down here even after that. But we're going to bring in a team that's got a little bit of experience, but just not a lot of depth. And we've had some guys banged up, and with guys on the sideline, it goes to freshmen and younger kids pretty quick. And with the lack of experience there, we're going to take our lumps here until we start developing some of those kids. And that's the way the ball rolls here. These small schools, and we'll take it one step at a time and see what happens.
Take us through your game with Edgewood last week and how you felt the guys play.
Well, we got off to the start we wanted. We got a nice kickoff and pinned them back and got a 3 and out. Actually had a chance to intercept the ball, and then on another play had a chance to pick up a fumble and didn't convert on any of those, and they punted to us and had a nice drive going, got it down inside the red zone, and fumbled the ball away, and they picked it up and gained quite a few yards and ended up punching in and scoring. And from that point, just kind of deflated us. We battled for another series there and drove it down again and fumbled again, and they were able to convert again and got out to, I think, 14-7 lead, and then punched one in right before the half there. And then the second half was just kind of back and forth. And our kids battled, but they didn't battle with the intensity they need to win a game or come back and win a game. So, those are things we got to work on, and that's been a focus this week.
I guess the old 3 yards in a cloud of dust mentality maybe still applies to your ball club. Is that still something you're trying to emphasize? And then conversely, on the other side of the ball, what are you liking to do?
Well, last week it was 3 yards and a fumble, I think. So, we hopefully will change that around a little bit. But yeah, we want to be ball control. We just don't. We've got the type of athletes here that we've got to keep the ball away from people, and so we've got to get back to that. We've got to take care of the football and not have penalties, not have turnovers, and be patient enough to make our 3 or 4 yards, make first downs, and keep the ball moving forward. And then on the other side of the ball this year, our athletes are different than they have been in the last couple of years, but we've been able to, I think, spread out our defense a little bit more and have layers that people have to go through in order to get big chunks of yards and kind of a bend but don't break style. Just not giving up big plays, making people have to. We try to force people to do what we try to do, and that's ball control and be patient with the ball. So with that philosophy, it worked out really well in our scrimmage game, and it wasn't bad the other night. It was just our offense didn't execute. I think defensively would have been all right, but like I said, once the wind went out of our sails, it was just tough to go either direction there. So,
give us your impressions of what you saw from Springs Valley in their game with Easter.
Well, that's always a different one because I know a lot of those kids, and it used to that. You knew their parents and you'd played with some of their parents. Well, now I've even coached against some of their parents as a head coach. So they've got quickness, just really quick, and then you take the quickness with knowing the kids and knowing their mentality and their personality and all that. And I know they go at it hard. The kids are winners, and they got size on the line and got a lot of guys returning. So it's the same challenge you have week in and week out, but it's different when you know. You have a little different angle on who you're playing against and know some of the personalities and families and so forth. So, that's always interesting, and we're excited. It's a fun game for me. I like playing it, but I'd much rather win it than I would lose it. So that's kind of been our approach this week is we gotta get back in the win column and do what we have to do to put ourselves in that position to hopefully win the thing.
Any other things that'll be important for your team to do? Well,
I think turnovers are a big thing. We can't turn the ball over, but leading up to that, we've got to block. We got to do a better job. We didn't sustain blocks. We came off the ball pretty well, but then we were turning around watching what was going on behind. So we've got to sustain our blocks and drive our man down the field and carry out our fakes and then wrap up and tackle and swarm to the ball and just simple fundamental football. And if we do those things, we'll get better each week. And that's where we're at right now is we just got to make sure we're improving.
All right, and Coach, as we close out, I know your older son, Cade, graduated, so you don't have him, but you still have Dane for another year or two, so I guess not going to mind that too much.
I've got Dane coming in as a junior, and then Ashton comes in. He's a freshman this year, so I dropped one and picked up another one there. So, and it's been fun. We joke all the time that my kids have been receivers on a team that never throws the ball, but I finally got Ashton's playing lineman for me, so I'm hoping to get some productivity out of him here in the next couple of years. But yeah, it's neat and we've enjoyed that. But they've been good team members and it's just been kind of a neat experience.
All right, Coach, thanks for spending time with us. I know a lot of people in the Valley still pulling for you, maybe except when you do play Springs Valley, but I know they wish you the best, and we do as well, not only tonight, but on through the rest of the season as well.
Well, again, thanks, Mike. I always enjoyed talking to you guys and Q100 and coming back to Springs Valley and having these games, so thanks again.
That is Troy Pritchett, the head coach of the Mitchell Blue Jackets, joining us prior to tonight's game as the Hawks take on Mitchell in this PLAC game. We'll have more of our pregame in a moment. This is Springs Valley High School football.
You've worked hard to build and protect your estate throughout your lifetime. Enjoy the confidence that comes from knowing all you've worked for may be preserved for your heirs. Please call Jamie Sullivan, Senior Vice President of Investments of Sullivan Financial Consulting of Raymond James, located in Mitchell, at 849-2670. Jamie can help design a comprehensive plan suited for your family's future financial needs. Call Jamie Sullivan today at 849-2670. Raymond James and Associates Incorporated, member New York Stock Exchange, SIPC.
A message from Spring Valley Meadows and Prince Lick.
As we age, recuperating from an illness or surgery may take more time than it used to. It's important for you to follow your doctor's discharge orders and include physical, occupational, and speech therapies when needed. Skimping on post-hospitalization therapy can cause potential falls and infections. So do it for yourself and do it for the ones you love.
The road to recovery begins at Springs Valley Meadows and Prince Lick, where caring people make the difference.
Call us at 936-9991.
This is Springs Valley senior running back Colby Lowe. Now back to more Blackhawks football with Mike Hamilton on Q100.
And before we get underway with tonight's football action, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Springs Valley High School football.
Your home of IU and high school sports in the Valley. WFLQ, French Lick, Indiana.
Money against Troy.
Mike Hamilton along with Kevin Mills here at the Hawks Nest, Springs Valley High School in French Lick, week number 2 of the 2018 football season. As the Hawks begin the first of 3 straight Patoka Lake Athletic Conference contest. Kevin, your thoughts on the keys to the ball game for this Valley unit?
Well, Mike, after last week, I think both teams, I think the turnover is going to be the key. Whoever can hang on to football. And then for Valley, I think one big key is to get off to a good start, put a couple of scores in, and make, Troy and Mitchell there, make them go out of their offense. If Mitchell's able to just get their 4 or 5 yards at a time and they hang on to football, they're hard to stop. But if you get a couple of touchdowns on them, it makes them on the other sideline. That 3 or 4 yards, a cloud of dust, doesn't work quite as well. But so we're looking for a good start from Valley.
All right, the Blackhawks won the toss, and they have elected to receive. They will be defending the south goal to begin things. They're in their home black uniforms with black pants, white numbers, and black helmets with a white V. Mitchell in their traveling white uniforms with blue numbers, gray pants, and blue helmets with a gold M on the helmets. Kevin Chrisman's crew assigned to this contest. Both teams taking the field. It will be Tyson James getting set to, it'll be Cody Petty that will get set to kick the football away. Dropping back deep for the Hawks will be Jackson Land along with Colby Lowe. Well, at least we have no rain to start the contest. Can't guarantee it the rest of the way, but hopefully it will stay dry. Here we go.
No rain and a fast field.
Petty gets his foot into the ball and drives it down, picked up at the 9-yard line by Colby Lowe. Works up to the middle of the field, now tries to break it to the outside, to the 20, to the 25-yard line, and finally pushed out of bounds by Dorian Duncan. And it'll be a gain or a return out to the 26-yard line, and that is where the Hawks will take over as we begin this football game. Cole Cooper, the quarterback for the Hawks, 155 at a senior. The fullback is Colton Dickey at 155 at a junior. The left slot back, Colby Lowe, 155 at a senior, along with Jordan Curtis at 165 and a senior. Split in Jackson Land, 165 at a senior. On 1st and 10, Cooper looking to throw the ball. He's going deep for Jackson Land. He's got it on the run. He's going to go for a touchdown. 20, 15, 10, 5. And electricity strike quickly here at the Hawks Nest as Cooper connects with Jackson Land on a 73-yard touchdown aerial. And on the first play of the football game, the Hawks have their first touchdown of 2018.
Well, Mike, that pass hit him in stride, and boy, just a great route and the kind of start the Hawks needed. But boy, I guess the dry weather makes a big difference because that ball was thrown perfectly. Great pass.
Hawks will go for 2. Cooper takes the snap, looks to throw, fires it into the end zone, and the pass is caught by Ammon Acuff for the 2-point conversion. The Hawks only threw 9 times all last week. They've gone to the air twice, and they have 8 points to show for it. So before the fans can get settled in their seats, the Hawks are on the board. 11:40 to go, first quarter on the Fast Eddie's Country Store and Deli scoreboard. Valley 8, Mitchell nothing. Back with more Blackhawks football right after this.
What's better than enjoying a fine meal at 33 Brick Street in French Lick? Savoring each mouthwatering bite on their outdoor patio and courtyard. Enhance your 33 Brick Street dining experience by taking in the open air during these warm months. Their patio and courtyard, featuring a fire pit, is perfect for special occasions or events, including wedding receptions, anniversaries, birthdays, and more. They can even design a special menu for your event. Make your reservations by calling 33 Brick Street at 936-3370. That's 936-3370. 33 Brick Street in downtown French Lick, good food all in a legendary atmosphere.
This is Springs Valley senior quarterback Cole Cooper, and you're listening to Blackhawks football on Q100.
And as Colton Reynolds kicks off, as he did a couple of times last week, popping this one straight up in the air, and it is caught.
Mike, I tell you, I want to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff there. They caught Mitchell, I'm sure, looking for a run, and were able to hit on a big pass early. So just a great job of play calling there.
Mitchell will take over at the 40. It was fair caught there by Leighton Allen. T formation backfield. Luke Lefevre, the quarterback, hands off, and this is Brandon Brazel carrying the football for the first time. The veteran able to get good yardage all the way out to the 48-yard line. A pickup of 8 on the play. It'll set up now a 2nd down and 2. Lefevre 144 and a junior. The fullback Dorian Duncan at 208 and the junior. The running backs Tyson James at 167 and a senior, and Brandon Brazel at 217 and a senior. 2nd and 2 now for the Jackets on their first drive of the contest. Handoff, and getting the first down here, I believe that is Tyson James. Nope, it's Brazel once again that carries the football, works his way off the right side, and he will pick up 4 yards to the 48 of Springs Valley, and that'll be enough to move the chains.
Yeah, Mike, they're tight. They're pretty tight in there, their offense is, and they're trying to get that 4 to 5 yards at a time. We'll see how our defense, they can come up and make some plays here. Have to play a little tighter.
Lefevre up under center, takes the snap, hands off Brazel again, and again finds some decent running room as he works off the right side, inside the 45 and down to about the 43-yard line. That one picks up 5 yards on the play. It'll bring up now a 2nd down and 5. The tight ends for the Jackets, Dane Pritchett. He is one of the coach's sons, 203 and a junior, and Leighton Allen at 131 and a senior. 8-0 Hawks. They scored on their first offensive play from scrimmage. Lefevre takes the snap, hands it off now to James. He's got good running room. First time the Jackets go off the left side of that line, and again, they are moving the ball at will here on this Hawk defense. That will pick up another first down. That's an 8-yard gain there for James, and the second first down of the drive now for the Jackets.
Yeah, the linebackers were kind of on their heels. They're going to have to come up and make some sticks in there.
Again, out of the T formation. Lefevre, long count, hands off to Brazel. This time hit at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a short pickup this time. Good penetration there as Adam George got in from his linebacker position to get a piece of him and hold Brazel to a 2-yard gain on the play. It'll bring up now a 2nd down and 8 at the Valley 33. The center for Mitchell is Parrish England, 256 and a senior. Left guard Nolan England, 263 and a senior. Reed Marlowe, the right guard, 234 and a senior. 244 senior Shane Connolly, the right tackle. And the left tackle Garrett Lindsay at 170 and a junior. And no surprises as, again, Brandon Brazel getting the bulk of the work here early on, and he'll carry just shy of the first down to the 26-yard line, working his way off the right side that time. So it'll be third down, really less than a yard. The ball just outside the 25-yard line. They need to get to about the 25 for the first down.
He does a good job, Mike, of running downhill, finds his hole, and he hits it up in there pretty hard.
This time, two-man backfield. Handoff this time. Goes off to Dorian Duncan, straight ahead running, and he's going to pick up an easy first down as the Jackets really controlling the line of scrimmage here in the early going as Duncan, his first carry of the night, pounds his way down to the 17, and they'll move the chains again as Mitchell threatening to get their first score of the game here on their initial drive as they are now in the red zone. T-formation backfield as Lefevre sets his team up under center. Takes the snap, pitches it off now to James, trying to break to the outside, and this time he's not going to find any running room. That's because, again, Justin Shipman read that play beautifully and was able to get out there and hit and bring down James for just a 2-yard, let's call it a 2-yard pickup to the 15 to set up now a second down and 8.
Yeah, Mitchell tried going wide there, and boy, the defense really reacted quickly there. That was a nice play, and got him in a little better situation here. A big play here on 2nd and 8.
Lefevre takes the snap, hands off to, he's going to fake it, and hand off to, I believe that is Duncan, and Duncan able to work his way down close to the 10. Actually, they're going to say his forward progress back to the 12-yard line, so a gain of 3. It'll set up now a third down and 5. Valley again in their 4-4. The tackles, Colton Reynolds, 280 and a senior. Nick Jones at 280 and a senior. The ends are Justin Haley, 200 and a senior. Caleb McCracken at 185 and a junior. Set the rest here momentarily on third down and 5. As Lefevre takes the snap and hands off to Duncan. Hit at the line of scrimmage. He'll pull his way forward for maybe a yard or so, but good penetration that time by the Hawks as Nick Jones getting in there. They'll spot the ball at the 9, a gain of 3, so it'll bring up now 4th down and 2, and big play for both these teams here in the early going.
Big one here, Mike. 4th and 2, and, the defense has to come up tight, fill the gaps, and hopefully make a stop right here.
Beaver looks over the defense. T-formation backfield, takes the snap. Hands off and picking up the first down, and then some is Brandon Brazel straight up the middle. He's into the end zone, and the Jackets waste no time in answering Valley's score with one of their own at the 6:35 mark here of this opening quarter of play.
Well, Mike, that was just a great drive there. I mean, Mitchell was executing perfectly. Snap and just beating us off the football. And right here, these extra points will be key in a game like this.
With Valley getting their 2-point conversion, Jackets will try for 2 here, looking for the tie. Lefevre hands off to Brazel, straight ahead running, and he gets in. And the Jackets waste no time, and Valley is going to have some things to work out here as the Jackets easily controlling the line of scrimmage here in the early going. Time out of the field, 6:35 to go, opening quarter on the Fast Eddie scoreboard. We are now deadlocked. Mitchell and Valley at 8 on the Fast Eddie scoreboard. Back with more Blackhawk football in just a moment.
Train endurance engineers stop at nothing to push our heating and cooling units to the brink. Their methods may seem unconventional.
Test to control. Fire up the pitching machine.
But they're the reason it's hard to stop a train.
For year-round comfort and savings in your home, count on Edwards Heating and Cooling, your Train dealer in Mitchell. For a free estimate, call 849-5489.
It's hard to stop a train. Really hard.
This is Springs Valley senior lineman Colton Reynolds, and you're listening to Blackhawks football on Q100.
Jackets answer with a score of their own to tie things up after Valley scored on their first offensive play. Now Petty kicks off. This time will be Colby Lowe at the 13, up the near side of the field to the 20. Makes a cut, 30, 35, 40, and he's pushed out of bounds up at about the 45, maybe the 46-yard line. Good little head and shoulder fake made by Colby Lowe, and that allowed him to pick up an extra 10 or 12 yards. They will say he stepped out of bounds at the 45-yard line, so the Hawks will have outstanding field position as they go on offense now for the second time.
Yeah, Mike, that's the first time we've really got to see him use his speed there. Boy, he made a nice little cut there. We got to get him in open field tonight, so we can, have some nice long runs here.
Out of the wing formation, in the pistol is Cooper, sends a man in motion, hands off now to Curtis, looking for running room. He's got a decent little run going here, as right now it looks like here, Kevin, as Jordan Curtis picks up close to 7 yards there on the play. Both teams' offensive lines controlling things.
Yeah, that's a little, I thought it'd be a little more of a defensive game, but right now both offenses have came out. You got a good night to play, and then the field, boy, the field is just quick. You got to be ready to move tonight, and let's see if the Hawks can continue to execute here and keep moving the football.
Gain of 7 for Curtis, 2nd down and 3, and we had some movement along Mitchell's defensive line, and we're going to get an offside call, and that'll be enough to give the Hawks a first down. So that'll move the ball up to the 43 on our first infraction of the contest. So the Hawks will take that. Valley's offensive line, Camden Grandstaff, the center, 205 at a junior. Left guard is Nate Hamilton at 175 at a senior. Caleb McCracken, the right guard, 185 at a junior. Left tackle Nick Jones, 280 and a senior. And Colton Reynolds, his fellow classmate, at 280, the right tackle. From the 43 of Mitchell, 1st and 10 now for the Hawks. In motion is Curtis. Back to throw is Cooper. He's going along again for Jackson Lynn, and this time it is intercepted. It is picked off by Leighton Allen, and the Hawks turn it over as that pass by Cooper, a nice spiral, but underthrown a little bit.
Yeah, he had him, Mike. If he had been 2 or 3 yards further, I think he could have made another big play. Just came up short. He was rolling to his left that time, and a little tougher throw for the right-handed quarterback, but nice play by the Mitchell defensive player.
The ball at the 15, so it's at least the Hawks have Mitchell pinned back a little bit here in their own territory, and this is where you want to maybe try to get a quick 3 and out here, Kevin, and keep field position in your favor.
Yeah, if they can hold him here, they can get the ball back, and like you mentioned, just real good field position, and the interception won't be as big. But we got to stop this 4 or 5 yard play they got.
Hand off to Brazel, and fighting for yardage, works his way off the right side, gets it up close to the 20-yard line. Brazel, a burly guy, 5'9", 217.
Mike, it looks like he's going to carry the ball about 40 times tonight. I tell you, he's carried it 8 times, and we're just 6, 7 minutes in the ball game. So we need to slow him down. He's going out right now.
He did fumble 3 times last week, so maybe he'll have a case of that fumbleitis again. 2nd down and 5. The pitch goes off to James, trying to turn it upfield. Not a whole lot of running room. The Hawks smelling that one out as Nick Jones comes off the bottom of the pile for the Hawks. Gain of 2 out to the 22, so another key play upcoming here. It'll be 3rd and 3 now for the Jackets here at their own 22. 4.5 minutes to go, first quarter. Tie ball game at 8 on the Fast Eddie's Country Store and Deli scoreboard.
You can see the difference, Mike, when Brazel runs the ball and the other backs, he's just a lot going downhill harder.
And this time the Hawks are going to snuff him as Brazel couldn't find any running room up the middle, as again Nick Jones leading the charge.
Decision
Caleb
time here.
McCracken as well.
4th and a yard.
They're going to spot it at the 24. So his forward momentum did get him 2 yards, but it is 4th down and a yard here. And it looks as though the Jackets are going to go for it here. Interesting call.
He may try to pull us off sides. Let's see hope our kids stay on the count.
Here's Lefevre. Snaps it, and they are going to get the first down, and then some, as again, the Hawks having so much trouble here. This time it's the fullback, Dorian Duncan, and he will pick up the first down. Again, just keeping those legs pumping. So rolling the dice, Troy Pritchett, but he will pick up the first down. That's a gain of 6 all the way out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Mike, as long as they're beating us off the football, their offensive line, he's going to continue just pounding in there. We're going to have to step up in there. Let's check the linebackers, see if they're coming up and filling any of the gaps there.
Looks like some movement there. Here's the pitch to Brazel, able to turn the corner, and again a big gain. And before Colton Dickey could bring him down, Brazel able to get out about 9 yards out to the 39-yard line. So Hawks are going to have to figure out a way to, now they're going to say his forward progress got him to the first 40. Now the officials, I think, are going to measure, or let's see. Nope. Now they're going to go ahead and bring the chains out here for a measurement.
They're going to give him the first down, Mike.
Okay. Now they changed their mind, so, all right. Seems like the officials being generous.
Yeah, a little generous on the spot.
Mitchell, that first again from their own 40-yard line.
So from the 40, Jackets, 1st and 10. This time an offset eye, handoff to Duncan, hit at the line of scrimmage, and down he goes. And that was Kayla McCracken, and this time Colton Reynolds helping out as well. No gain on the play. Well, let's give him a yard.
That was our best surge we had, Mike. Our defensive line really got off the football nice there, and either Jones or Reynolds there really stuck him early.
Troy Pritchett, a crafty enough coach. You run it up the middle, pound it, and then run outside, and boom, it makes it tough. On 2nd down, and again the Hawks come up with a huge defensive play, as this time they will stuff Nate Reynolds, a 5'9" sophomore, right at the, they're going to, again, mark his forward progress up to the 42, but now, finally, the Hawks force Mitchell into a 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd down and 8 from their own 42. Minute and a half to go here in the opening quarter. Tie ball game at 8. Let's see if the Hawks can come up with another big play here. Lefevre, pro set of the backfield, takes the snap and hands off, and it'll go to Reynolds on the pitch, able to get it up to the 45, but he will be stopped short of the first down. So now it'll bring up a 4th and 5 here for the Jackets. And again, we'll see what Troy Pritchett elects to do. It does not look like he wants to punt the football. So again, another gamble here in your own territory. They made it on a 4th and 1 at their own 24, now from their own 45.
Now they're going to punt.
Now they're going to shift into the punt. Valley has nobody back, however. And James gets it off. He'll send it to the far sidelines, take a bit of a Mitchell roll, and will go out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. So the Hawks fooled a little bit. I'm not sure they could have gotten any sort of a return or not, but they did, in essence, stop the Jackets, and Valley now will take over 1st and 10. At their own 23-yard line.
They made 2 or 3 nice plays in a row. 2 or 3 good defensive plays in a row. I see Brazel over with his helmet off, and he's probably a little winded right now.
Second wind right now.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what the Hawks can do now in the waning stages of this first quarter. Again, Cole Cooper in there at quarterback out of the pistol, takes the snap. Hands off, Jackson lands, spins as he takes it upfield and gets it out across the 25 and up to about the 26 before the hole closed in on him. Spotted at the 25. Call it a 2-yard gain on the play. It'll bring up now a 2nd down and 8. Land splits wide to the far side. In motion is Colby Lowe. All snap back to Colton Dickey, and Dickey's not going to find a whole lot of running room. Maybe a yard up to the 26-yard line, and that is it. So the Hawks will be looking at a 3rd and 7 on what may well have been the final play of this third quarter of action.
Both teams, Mike, played pretty well, and I think, they both hung on the football nice that first quarter. And, I think you're looking at two even teams. It just depends on which team can hang in there the longest tonight and, make the plays. We had the big play start of the game and came up with a good defensive stand there right before it.
That's the end of the first quarter with a score. Springs Valley 8, Mitchell 8 on the Fast Eddie scoreboard. Back with the second quarter in a moment. This is Springs Valley High School football.
Have you checked out DriveBedford.com? You should, because Bedford Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has huge savings going on during their summer clearance event. Right now, get a new 2018 Ram 2500 with diesel engine and get up to $7,635 in total value. Or lease a new 2019 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for $399 a month. Check out their deals and inventory by going online to DriveBedford.com. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Your car is not just a mode of transportation. It is an investment. To protect that investment, take it to the guys at Woolston Automotive in Mitchell to keep it in tip-top condition. David Woolston and the crew have a combined half-century of experience, so you know your vehicle is in good hands. From the simplest of tune-ups to major overhauls, you can count on Woolston Automotive to do the job right. Trust your car's maintenance to the pros at Woolston Automotive on Main Street in downtown Mitchell. Call 849-4012.
Second quarter getting underway. Big play for the Hawks offensively. 3rd down and 7. Cooper takes the snap, rolls to his right, looks downfield, pumps, throws a little shovel pass off to Jordan Curtis, and Curtis looked like he was taking off upfield, and then a great open field tackle from behind made by Dorian Duncan, and he tripped up Jordan just short of the first down by about a yard.
Oh, Mike, that was a heck of a defensive play because Curtis saw the lane, and it looked like he might break that one for a long gain and just got him right by the ankles.
So now we'll see. It looks like Mark Hammond may be rolling the dice a little bit, and will go for it on 4th down and a yard. They will. Here's the handoff to Land, and Jackson's got the first down. They snapped it directly to Jackson, and he pulled his way off the right side, out over the 35 and up to the 37-yard line. A gain of 5 on the play. So both teams gambling here in their own territory.
Yeah, I tell you, our line had a good surge there, and Jackson, he saw the lane open up, and he hit those 4 or 5 yards real quick. That was a nice run, and really going to help us control the clock here in the second quarter.
Now Jackson back in there at quarterback. Cole Cooper splits wide of the near side. Curtis in motion to the far side. The ball snapped directly back to Colton Dickey, and Colton straight ahead running. He got a head of steam behind him as he pulls his way out over the 40 and up to about the 43-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 6 on the play, and good to see the Hawks again offensively controlling that line of scrimmage.
Now 2nd and 4. It'd be nice to see that for the Hawks for the rest of the night. That's a good down where you can call anything here, and makes the play calling a lot easier.
Double wing formation. In motion Curtis. Cooper splits wide to the far side. Snap back to Jackson Land, looking for running room. Had a hole momentarily, but it quickly closed there as Nate Reynolds came up.
I think you made your own cut there. It looked like it's back inside,
and they will spot. Well, is it enough for the first down? They're going to say it is. Okay. So he just needed 4 yards for the first down, and they again aren't even going to bother to measure.
Hey, they don't measure a lot much.
Must be to the wrath of the coaches, I would think. I don't know.
It used to be they'd measure quite a bit. If it's close, I think they just go ahead and give it and move on.
So the Hawks near midfield now. All right, Cole Cooper back in at quarterback now. As the handoff goes to Colby Lowe, trying to sweep the end. He crosses midfield, spins his way inside the 45. It'll be close to the first down. There, they needed to get to about the 43. I think he'll be stopped just shy. But the Hawks back into Mitchell territory, and they will spot it at the 44. So a 9-yard gain on the play on Colby's first run of the contest. 2nd down and a yard now for Valley.
really looking sharper on offense right now, Mike. And see, 2nd and 2.
Cooper back in there, quarterback. Land splits wide to the near side. Low in motion to the far side. Almost turned upfield too soon as the ball snapped back directly there to Colton Dickey. And this time Colton didn't find any running room whatsoever. In fact, he's going to lose a yard back the 45-yard line. That play very slow in developing there.
I think you caught that, Mike. I think he did turn up a little early.
He got away with it, though. So Mitchell with a 5-2 look. Their nose guard, Shane Conley, 244 and a senior. The tackles, Garrett Lindsey, 170 and a junior. Nolan England, 263 and a senior. The ends are Dane Pritchett, 203 and a junior. Nate Reynolds, 140 and a sophomore. We'll get the rest of the defense momentarily as the ball snapped back to Jackson Land. The flag comes down as Land looked like he was stopped short of the first down by a yard or so, but now we're going to see what the flag is all about. And
3rd and 2.
And it's going to be a motion call here against the Hawks. So I didn't see anybody turn upfield too soon that time, and they didn't call it from the time before. I think Mitchell's going to decline the penalty.
They're going to take it. Yeah, you almost have to there. Put them in 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 instead of 4th and 2.
All right. So the ball back to midfield, so it'll bring up now a 3rd down and 7 for the Hawks. 8:15 to go, first half. Hawks and Jackets tied at 8. This is the 57th meeting between these two schools. Valley holds a 31-25 edge in the series, but Valley hasn't won here on their home field since 2012. Land back in there, quarterback takes the snap, turns it upfield, and will get those 5 yards back, but it'll still leave the Hawks short by a couple to the 45. Jackson with his 4th carry now for 16 yards. So the Hawks went for it before in their own territory. Now they're in Mitchell territory, and it looks like they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, Mike, you got 4th and 3, and you're on your side of the field.
But I think the Hawks are going to take a timeout first. They're going to let the play clock run down, and Mark Hammond's going to spend a timeout, so the Hawks will take a few extra seconds to talk this one over. Go Blackhawks and go to Dairy Queen of Spring Valley for the DQ Reese Outrageous. It's the August Blizzard of the month. And remember, you get $5 off DQ frozen cakes in the display case every Monday at Dairy Queen of Spring Valley. Timeout on the field. 7:11 to go first half. Tie game at 8 on the Fast City scoreboard. Jackets and Hawks. Back with more Spring Valley football in just a moment.
When you come to the Lot B location of Roots RV and Sales, you'll see the new line of flatbeds, utility trailers, and dumps from Rice Manufacturing, featuring style wheels and colorful new designs. Roots is also proud to carry PJ's flatbeds, made to haul any equipment you may have. Need storage? Check out the many lines of cargo trailers in stock and be sure to ask about how you can rent just about any item Roots has. They can even special order if you don't see exactly what you need. For new and used utility trailers, car haulers, cargoes, dumps, and more, come to the Roots RV and Sales Lot B location on Highway 37 just north of Mitchell.
This is Springs Valley senior linebacker Drake Terry. Keep it tuned to Key 100 all season long for Blackhawks football.
Well, if you need a break or just time to relax and unwind, call for your appointment with one of Reeser Chiropractic's board-certified massage therapists. However, if it's not sore muscles, you'll want to see Dr. Lolita. She has your back. Reeser Chiropractic in Pale Lake. Call for your appointment, 723-2277. All right, on 4th and a long 2. Hawks are going to go for it. Reverse, off to Kobe Lowe, looking for the first down. He's got it! Oh, a beautiful play run by the Hawks. But again, give credit to the offensive line. They got the charge and open the hole for Colby as he carries it all the way down to the 40 and pick up a 5. And again, a much-needed first down for the Hawks.
Yeah, that was a great cut, Mike. He saw that, he saw a little gap in there, and boy, he stuck his nose down, and boy, really got us that good 4 or 5 yards. Nice play, and then, like you mentioned, the offensive line doing a nice job keeping any pressure up back there.
3rd first down in this drive for the Hawks. 1st and 10 at the 40. Low in motion to the far side. Ball snapped back to Land. Hands off to Jordan Curtis as the penalty flag comes in once again. Curtis stacked up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. And We're going to have another motion call here on the Hawks. I think that is what they're going to call. Well, they're going to call a double shift. So they had two men moving at the same time. So Troy Pritchett can either take 1st and 15 or he can take 2nd down and 10. Let's see what he elects to do. It looks like he's going to take the yardage rather than the down. So second penalty for the Hawks. We'll move the ball back to the 45, so it'll be 1st and 15 now. And again, when you're a run-oriented offense, Kevin, those kind of penalties, you can ill afford.
Yeah, we had a good drive going. I think, like I said, our offense is in a little more of a rhythm now, though. I believe we can make this up if just our line continues to do the job there. They're going wide. We're going wide there.
And off to Jordan Curtis. He started outside, cuts it back upfield, and finds some good running room as he pounds his way down inside the 40 to the 37. Good recognition by Jordan that time as he saw the outside covered, cut it back up and gets it down to the 37. So he'll get half the yardage they needed back, 8 to be exact. So it'll be 2nd down and 7. Jordan's carried twice now for a total of 15 yards. Now the other thing too, Kevin, we didn't talk about, both these teams really try to emphasize ball control, especially the Jackets. So when you can keep the ball away from Mitchell, you're really helping yourself.
Oh, yeah, it's just like it's helping your defense a bunch. I've got
play action. Cooper over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. That looked like a timing play there as Cooper just threw over the middle.
Mitchell
expecting Jackson Land to be there, and the pass led Jackson just by a hair. And it'll fall incomplete. It'll bring up now a 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, Mitchell had two guys there on that one. They did a good job staying at home. That the middle safety there read the pass real well and just almost picked that one off.
Jason Lowe, the offensive coordinator for the Hawks this year. This with Jeremy Reynolds moving to Crawford County. 3rd down and long. In motion, Curtis to the near side. Cooper hands off to Colby Lowe. Started outside, cuts it back upfield. And again, that offensive line failed to sustain their block. Therefore, Colby didn't get a whole lot of yardage, just to the 34, so only a 3-yard gain. So it's going to bring up 4th down and 4. So for the 3rd time in this drive here, Kevin, the Hawks looking at a 4th down. And we'll see if they can keep it going and keep those conversions rolling along here.
Well, they've been able to run it on 4th down and get that 4 to 5 yards they've needed. Right there, they're in about the same situation. Good
play action. Cooper rolling to his right. He's going to keep the football. He's got the 1st down inside the 30 and down to the 28. A good recognition on the part of the senior as he saw his receivers covered and just tucked the ball under his arm and carries it for 7 yards down to the 27-yard line, and that is enough to move the chains as the Hawks driving for what they hope will be the go-ahead score here as we're down to 4:35 to go in this first half of play and a tie game at 8 on the Fast Eddie scoreboard.
Yeah, boy, Cole made a great decision there. I mean, he saw a lane there, knew he had to get the 1st down, and did a great job.
This time Jackson up under center. Takes the snap. He's going to keep the football, and he is tripped up. He faked to Dickey and then tried to move it upfield and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Well, they're going to give him a yard on the play to the 26. That'll bring up now a 2nd down and 9. What's good here is the Hawks are using a lot of the clock, and with Mitchell's offense, that old 3 yards and a cloud of dust makes it tough.
You're not going to get many possessions.
Move it down the field, right?
Yeah.
Cooper will reset himself on the right side. In motion is Curtis. He gets the call, cuts it upfield inside the 25, and will be stood up there at about the 22, maybe the 23-yard line.
Curtis Mike has some good speed. He's going to have to lower those pads though after he gets ready for contact. He's getting stood up, and boy, he made a great cut. But then he'd have got 3 or 4 more yards if he'd have put his pads down and carried him forward.
The gain was for 4 to the 22-yard line, so it'll bring up now 3rd down and 5 here for the Hawks. And ultimately, what you'd like to do is score here and not give Mitchell enough time to score before the end of the first half. Land back in a quarterback, takes the snap, hands off to Colton Dickey. He's got the first down off the left side, inside the 15 and down to the 13. And boy, you gotta like Colton Dickey as he just lowered his head and bowled his way forward. Got good blocks from the left side of that line. Nick Jones and Nate Hamilton all the way down to the 14, a pickup of 8 for the Hawk fullback. And the Hawks another first down as they are inside the red zone now with 2:45 remaining first half and a tie game at 8.
Mike, I see some of Mitchell's players are leaning over a little bit, hands on the hips, so we've got them on the ropes here. We need to put this one in.
Get out of the pistol. Cooper back in there, quarterback, takes the snap, hands off to Jackson Land, trying to get to the outside, slips the tackle, he's to the 10, and then pulverized out of bounds there at about the 5-yard line. Boy, what a hit made that time. Levi Smith, one of the linebackers at 180 and a junior, along with Dorian Duncan at 208 and a junior, just absolutely crushed him out of bounds, but not before Jackson was able to get 8 yards, down to the, actually they're going to give him 9 yards. They're going to spot it at the 5, so call it a gain of 9 on the play.
Boy, Valley's doing a nice job mixing their plays up. I think.
Oh, handoff. Breaking to the outside is Colby Lowe. He tried to get to the outside, and he's going to end up losing yardage because Tyson James came up. That time
has to cut that one back in. Just get what you can. You're going to end up being 3rd and a yard and a half. Now you're 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7.
3rd down and 6 now, back at the 10. Yeah, if Colby had just kind of stuck it up there, he might not have gotten the first down, but he wouldn't have lost yardage, which that lost 5 back to the 10. So it'll bring up now a 3rd down and 6. 1:50 remaining here in this first half of play. Land back in at quarterback. Cooper splits wide to the far side, and we're going to get a flag here, and we're going to get a procedure call here against the Hawks, and that's going to cost them another 5. And again, Hawks are going to have to figure out a way, Kevin, to shore up these kind of mistakes.
Yeah, when you're sending guys in motion, and early in the year here, the guys are going to be disciplined. Boy, it's tough here because you were down there second and 2 at about the 5 or 6 yard line, and now you're all the way back to the 15, so 3rd down.
3rd down and 11. I'm surprised Troy Pritchett isn't calling timeout so he can have time for his team after this drive. Ball snot back to Land, gives off now to Jordan Curtis, and he'll pick up about 5 yards. So it's going to bring up 4th down again now for the Hawks. They'll spot it at the 10. And it will be 4th down and 6 now for Valley with 1:05 to go here before intermission. Tie ball game at 8. And no timeouts here for the Hawks. They're going to go for it as expected. This time they've got Colton Dickey split wide of the near side. Double slots.
Double
pass. Play action. Here's Land, throws it into the end zone. Oh, and it's almost caught. Acuff had a shot at it, and I think at the last second, Tyson James was able to get a hand on that and bat it away. So the Hawks, what a drive, though. They took over at the 1:08 mark of the opening quarter, and Kevin, they held the ball for an entire quarter and then some.
Oh, man, yeah. How many plays was that, Mike?
I'll count it up here in just a second. So with 44 seconds remaining here in the first half, the Jackets will take over 1st and 10 now at their own 10-yard line. And this time, Acuff slow in getting off, and that forces the Hawks into taking a timeout, which really isn't a bad thing necessarily because the clock was stopped anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered whether there was any time that went off the clock at all. Matt Cooper and the team of surveyors and engineers at BRCJ Incorporated are proud of our young leaders that excel between the lines and in the classroom. BRCJ salutes the parents, teachers, and coaches for their support of these activities because life is a team sport. And Chicago's Pizza, good. Stop by Chicago's on the Boulevard in French Lick for the salad bar lunch, 11 to 1:30 Monday through Friday. Salad, pizza, breadsticks, and drink for $7.99 at Chicago's Pizza in French Lick, 936-2962. Don't forget, coming up, our Springs Valley halftime report. I had a chance to talk with Assistant Principal Daniel Wolford, and we will have our senior spotlight coming up at halftime, which will be... Who's our guest? Who's our senior spotlight this week? Nick Jones. Yeah, that's right. Tanya Perez had a chance to catch up with the senior. All right, back to action we go. And on first down and 10, Lefevre hands off here. Is that, I believe that is to Duncan. Dorian Duncan.
See if we use another timeout here, Mike.
No gain on the play to bring up now a second down and 10. I think the Jackets are just content. They don't even have to get a play off if they don't want to, but they may try. Inside handoff, it goes to Brazel. And Brazel up to about the 15-yard line, and unless either team stops the clock, that should be it here in this first half of play. Entertaining one at that. And despite both teams pretty much dominating on the offensive end, only one score apiece through the first 24 minutes of action.
Yeah, Mike, that was a good first half. Both teams played well. They'll go in and regroup for the second half.
Well, if you need a break, a time to just relax and unwind, call for your appointment with one of Research Chiropractic's board-certified massage therapists, and let them help you get back into shape. However, if it's not just sore muscles, you'll want to see Dr. Lolita. She has your back. For your appointment, call the Research Chiropractic Center in Paoli at 723-2277. Halftime, Valley's home opener here at Death Valley, taking on the Mitchell Blue Jackets. We have settled nothing through the first two quarters. At the end of the first half on the Fast Eddie scoreboard, Springs Valley 8, Mitchell 8. We'll start our Springs Valley halftime report when we come back. You're listening to Springs Valley High School Football.
In today's fast-paced society, we depend on our cars to get us where we need to go. With work, kids, and a busy lifestyle, we don't have time for breakdowns. That's why so many people take their vehicles to B&L Auto Repair in Mitchell to get back on the road as soon as possible. With 3 full-time mechanics on duty, including owner Clifton Odell, B&L will use computer diagnostics to determine your problem so they can get it repaired and have you on your way in no time. Trust the team with a decade of complete automotive computer diagnostic service to the area. B&L Auto Repair at the corner of 8th and Grissom in Mitchell. 849-4684.
Attention cord cutters. Have you switched to streaming TV services only to discover your internet speed isn't cutting it? Make your streaming TV experience seamless with Smithville's Fiber Internet, the best for streaming TV, movies, videos, and more. Smithville Fiber is prepared for today's technology as well as whatever tomorrow brings. Be more than a cord cutter. Be on the cutting edge of internet. Visit switchtosmithville.com today to learn more, or call us at 800-742-4084.
Springs Valley's mobile banking app is easy peasy. Easily review your balances, deposit checks, and even check your credit score on Springs Valley's app. With Springs Valley's mobile app, you will receive your credit report, monitoring, and alerts. Plus, you have access to loan offers and financial educational tools. At Springs Valley Bank and Trust, we make it easy peasy. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Focused on you, Springs Valley Bank and Trust.
You've worked hard to build and protect your estate throughout your lifetime. Enjoy the confidence that comes from knowing all you've worked for may be preserved for your heirs. Please call Jamie Sullivan, Senior Vice President of Investments of Sullivan Financial Consulting of Raymond James, located in Mitchell at 849-2670. Jamie can help design a comprehensive plan suited for your family's future financial needs. Call Jamie Sullivan today at 849-2670. Raymond James and Associates Incorporated, member New York Stock Exchange, SIPC.
This is Springs Valley Senior wide receiver Jackson Land. Your power station for Blackhawk Sports is Q100 WFLQ.
Back again at the Hawk's Nest in French Lick as we begin the Springs Valley halftime report. This one deadlocked at 8 apiece. as Valley opened up with a bang as we hear the sounds of the Springs Valley Black Hawk Brigade in the background. Hawks took the opening kickoff, and it was Jackson Land that brought it out to the 27, and on the very first play from scrimmage, Cole Cooper hooked up with Jackson on a fly pattern down the far sideline. Jackson caught it in stride and went 73 yards for the score. It took just 20 seconds to do that, and then Cole Cooper hit Ammon Acuff in the end zone for the two-point conversion, and just like that, it was 8-0 in favor of the Hawks. Mitchell, though, would bounce right back as they put together a solid drive. 11 plays, 60 yards, consuming 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Brandon Brazel doing the bulk of the work, and he was the one that bursted into the end zone from 9 yards out at the 6:35 mark of the opening quarter. Brazel then ran it in for the two-point conversion, and that, believe it or not, is where we stand, deadlocked at 8. That was despite the fact that Cole Cooper had one of his passes picked off in the first half, but Valley was able to bear down defensively and force Mitchell into a punt. And despite the fact that Valley had a possession that went, believe this or not, 12 minutes and 24 seconds. They took over with 1:08 to go in the second quarter, converted no less than 3 fourth downs in the drive, but ended up not converting on a 4th and 6 from the Mitchell 10-yard line, and then the Jackets ran a couple of plays to run out that first half of play. So both teams, despite the fact that they seem to each have the edge offensively, only one score through the first 2 quarters of play. So again on the Fast Eddie scoreboard, at the break, Hawks and Jackets tied at 8. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll continue on with our Springs Valley halftime report, our halftime interview with Daniel Wolford, assistant principal at Springs Valley High School, along with our senior spotlight, that being senior Nick Jones. All that comes up next. You're listening to Springs Valley High School Football.
Rolling Tire and Auto, your auto value dealer in West Baden, gives new meaning to the term complete car care. It starts with Rolling, carrying a full line of auto parts for all you do-it-yourselfers, not just parts, but the tools to install them. Then it moves to tires, where you can choose from some of the best brands in the business, including Uniroyal, Michelin, and BF Goodrich. And then with 3 full-time certified mechanics, Rolling will get you back on the road with repairs on services from air conditioning to wheel alignments and everything in between. Celebrating over 50 years of providing the area with the best in automotive care, see them on the Boulevard in West Baden or visit RollingTireandAuto.com.
Caring people make the difference at Springs Valley Meadows and French Lick.
You can feel it the minute you walk into Springs Valley Meadows. We're the experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. We're here to help you and your family find answers, solutions, and peace of mind. In fact, we become an extension of your family. For more information about Springs Valley Meadows, Highway 145, French Lick, visit ascseniorcare.com.
Or call Springs Valley Meadows at 936-9991.
A salute to the Blackhawks from Tony Robbins and the construction crew at TRC Construction in French Lick for concrete work, land clearing, and site work, driveways, foundations, patios, and sidewalks. Call TRC Construction 653-7007.
This is Springs Valley senior lineman Justin Haley. Your powered station for Blackhawks sports is Q100 WFLQ.
We welcome you back as we continue on with our Springs Valley halftime report. My guest this week, it kind of goes hand in hand with who we had last week. It was athletic director Jason Russell, who replaced the guy I'm talking to now, Daniel Wolford, who will stay on, of course, as assistant principal in his 5th year. And Daniel, first of all, thanks for joining us. And is it kind of a relief that you don't have to handle those AD duties?
Yeah, for sure. When July 1st hit this year, I was more than happy to relinquish my duties to Jason Russell.
Just let's go back and talk a little bit about what you do as an assistant principal. I think most people understand that the main part of it has to do with discipline, and you don't always like to be the bad guy, I guess, but sometimes kids need to understand that rules are rules.
Correct. Yeah, that's the majority of my job. It's not always fun. It's not always easy. But I've found over the years, like you said, it's my 5th year, I've found over the years to look for the positive in students. And this year in particular, we've really started to do a lot of proactive, positive approaches to kids. You know, we're trying to reward them for being good, give them some incentives on doing what they're supposed to do as far as grades and attendance and things like that. So this can be a negative job if you let it be a negative job, but I try my best to always build that relationship with the students. I try to smile as much as possible, and it's okay. It's an enjoyable job.
I want to ask you something, and we didn't have a chance to, or I didn't have a chance to brief you or kind of rehearse this, so I don't mean to necessarily put you on the spot, but I think it's a question that you understand, and you know all the administrators do in the Springs Valley Corporation, and that is the fact that obviously with all the violence that we have had, especially here in recent years with schools, what has been the stand of the Springs Valley Community School Corporation in terms of handling that? Now, obviously, fortunately, we have not really had anything too serious, thank goodness, and hope we never do, but you always have to be ready.
Sure, yeah. We're fortunate enough at our school corporation, we have 3 school safety specialists, myself, Mr. Nycomb, and Mr. Apple, and we stay current on all anything that's released by the DOE. We go through 2-day required trainings throughout the year, and they do a wonderful job. In fact, Indiana is one of the leaders in this school safety specialist type program. It's a lot of states look to Indiana of how do we implement this. We also have what we call the Orange County Safety Commission. We meet 3 times a school year, and again, that's all the county schools plus police, fire department, hospitals, and it's just a time for us to sit and talk about how we're going to do things, new things that are coming up, like things like that. I've found over the years, like I just mentioned previously, though, is we have a good school here, and we have a lot of teachers, staff that build that strong relationship with the kids. And we, many times, you don't get it 100%, but you can often see if a kid is struggling with some things or going through. We're a small enough school that I think we have, that's our positive, we get that close relationship with the kids, and I think that's vital.
And I'm curious to find out, too, another issue that's kind of been prevalent in recent years has been the idea of bullying. Mm-hmm. And do you have procedures in place and encourage students, if they feel like they are getting bullied, to report that?
Yeah, sure. We always encourage students to report as soon as possible, and we have different means that the kids can do that. I always encourage students. We have a link on our school website that they can go to, and it's an anonymous link, and they can fill it out, and those messages come straight to myself and Mr. Nycomb and Mr. Apple. One-on-one with kids, I always encourage tell a teacher that you're close to. Email anytime. Email can be pretty anonymous as well. They're more than happy to email me, but yeah, we definitely encourage that, and you have to take everything seriously that's reported by a student.
I don't mean to dwell too much on the negative. Okay. We get back to more positive things. You've been out of coaching now for a couple of years, and obviously the job duties and the demand take a major toll in terms of your time and everything. So I suppose it's good because it probably gives you more time with the family, but at the same time, I'm sure you miss being out there, especially on those Friday nights.
Oh yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Friday nights are the toughest. That's when I really miss it. When I see the guys out there in the middle of summer, it's really hot, and I don't miss it so much then, but it's that Friday night fall evening when the temperature's just right and the lights are on, I definitely miss it. And I miss game planning throughout the week with the fellow coaches. They are still nice enough to let me watch film, so I give them my input every once in a while, but it's not the same. And hopefully someday when my kids get a little older, I can get back in it. But for now, I've stepped aside.
And speaking of that, family doing well?
Doing well, yeah. We have 4 little ones now, and they keep us on our toes. And Monica and I have always said we didn't want that to be the end-all, be-all where we're not able to give back to the community and the school. So Monica still coaches. I try to help out as much as I can, and so we still want to be active and show our kids that it's not just about our family, but it's about the community. We always try to show that to our own kids.
Okay. And I do want to close out, speaking of community, and Jason did that last week, and probably as I moved down the line and talked to several of the administrators throughout the course of the year, just how wonderful the Springs Valley community is and the support that they give, not only to their students, but to the administration, to the faculty and staff, athletic programs. I mean, it runs the gamut, and it is certainly good to have that.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a wonderful community here, and anytime there's a student in need or a staff member in need, I mean, that's when you can really see it in our school. Everybody comes together, and I've had even we share a teacher or two through Lost River Co-op. They'll come down here, or we send students to Paoli, and it's amazing to hear those teachers say, Springs Valley students are really, really good, and we know that, but it's nice when others see it from communities. But yeah, definitely I wouldn't want to teach or work anywhere else.
Okay. Sounds like everything is in place and working well. Daniel, we appreciate you spending time with us, and we wish you continued success as your job here as assistant principal at Springs Valley High School.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Daniel Wolford, assistant principal at the high school, joining us on our Springs Valley halftime report. We'll step aside and take another break and be back with more in a moment. This is Springs Valley High School football.
What's better than enjoying a fine meal at 33 Brick Street in French Lick? Savoring each mouth-watering bite on their outdoor patio and courtyard. Enhance your 33 Brick Street dining experience by taking in the open air during these warm months. Their patio and courtyard, featuring a fire pit, is perfect for special occasions or events, including wedding receptions, anniversaries, birthdays, and more. They can even design a special menu for your event. Make your reservations by calling 33 Brick Street at 936-3370. That's 936-3370. 33 Brick Street in downtown French Lick, good food, all in a legendary atmosphere.
This is Springs Valley senior lineman Nick Jones. Now back to more Blackhawk football with Mike Hamilton on Q100.
Our Springs Valley halftime report continues now with Senior Spotlight, where we talk to our senior member of Blackhawks football team and get to know him a little bit better. Tonight I'm chatting with lineman Nikki Jones for the Hawks. Nikki?
Hi.
How do you balance playing sports with your academics?
I honestly don't think it's that hard. It's just you got to get everything. Make sure you've got time to get everything done, and you can't use sports as an excuse not to get something done. So just keep on everything and make sure you do well.
What is your favorite part about playing football?
Hitting people. I'm a lineman, so that's kind of my job, and I love it, every second of it.
What's your biggest thrill so far about playing football at Springs Valley?
Biggest thrill would probably be my freshman year. Even though I didn't play varsity, we brought the Orange Bowl back, but sadly we lost it again. But this year's looking good again. So,
have you made plans yet on what you'll do after graduation?
Probably not going to college. If anything, I'll try to go to a trade school and maybe go into construction or operating.
Tell us a little about your family.
I got my mom and my dad. Love them both to death. And got my little sister, so she comes to all the games. She enjoys watching me.
Tell us your favorite food.
I like all food.
Sports team?
Green Bay Packers.
Video game?
Fortnite.
Class?
Lunch.
Teacher?
Mr. Kearns.
Restaurant?
McDonald's.
Hobby?
Hunting and fishing.
Car.
2006 Mercury Mountaineer.
And finally, Nikki, who has the biggest influence on you?
Probably my grandpa Nick. He's helped me through a lot of stuff in life, and he's taught me a lot of good lessons that everyone needs to learn.
Thanks, Nikki. Good luck for the rest of your year.
Thank you.
And this has been Senior Spotlight, heard at halftime of the Blackhawks football games during the 2018 season. Mike is along next to go over the first half stats as our Springs Valley halftime report continues. Reporting for Q100 Sports, this is Tanya Perez.
A salute to the Blackhawks from Tony Robbins and the construction crew at TRC Construction in French Lick for concrete work, land clearing, and site work, driveways, foundations, patios, and sidewalks. Call TRC Construction 653-7007.
Just about set to go with second half action. Mike Hamilton along with Kevin Mills. Before we get underway, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Springs Valley High School football.
You're listening to the 6,000-watt sports voice of the Valley, WFLQ, French Lick, Indiana.
We'll go through some of the numbers as we get a chance. Valley outgaining Mitchell in that first half, 163-91. Obviously, all of the Jackets yards coming on the ground. Valley balanced, 84 on the ground, 79 through the air. Now, Colton Reynolds kicks off, sent it end over end, picked up at the 28-yard line by Brazel, out to the 35, to the 40, and before the Hawks can fill him, he's out to about the 42-yard line.
Well, Mike, one thing, the drive that Valley had right before half, for the whole quarter, did give Brazel a little bit of a break as he was really winded that first quarter, and he stood over on the sideline that whole time. So we'll see if, I'm sure they're going to go right back to him on this drive.
So Jackets have it, 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line to start the third quarter in a tie game at 8. Offset eye in the backfield. Brazel's got a big hole, breaks it through, and he's going to be close to a first down, if not getting it here, as a huge hole opening up on that right side. They'll spot it at the 49. Valley, gain of 9 on the play. It'll bring up now a second down and 1. Kevin, that drive for Valley in the second quarter lasted 12 minutes and 24 seconds. I would think that would have to be a school record, and it covered 21 plays. But the bad thing, the Hawks got no points out of it.
Tough.
Split backfield, pitch off to Brazel. He's got the first down and more, tripped up after a gain of about 4 to the 45-yard line. So the Jackets back into Hawk territory. Luke Lefevre, the quarterback, a junior. Dorian Duncan, the fullback. The running backs, Tyson James and Brandon Brazel. The tight ends are Dane Pritchett and Leighton Allen. The offensive line, left to right, Garrett Lindsay, Nolan England, Parrish England, Reed Marlowe, and Shane Conway.
Running toward the left side of our defense, Mike. Let's see if they can step up in there and plug some holes.
And
good play there.
It is right there as a short gain that time. It's Tyson James carrying the football this time, and it's Colton Reynolds that gets off the bottom of the pile as he ran into a stone wall there. Gain of 1, second down and 9.
I'm sure Mitchell's doubling Colton in there. I tell you, he's a handful to keep out of the backfield, and he made a heck of a play there. That puts them second and 9, which gives Valley a little advantage here.
Jackets getting away from the T formation. Here's the pitch to Brazel, working his way off the right side, driving forward for a hard-earned 2, maybe 3 yards. Brazel in that first half carried the ball 11 times for 59 yards. He was by far the one that carried the ball the most. He had 59 of the 91 yards for Mitchell. They also had 5 first downs as well. Hawks actually had the ball much longer than Mitchell, 14-10 in that first half, thanks mainly to that 12-minute drive. Third down and 7, back to throw Lefevre for the first time. Now he's going to run with it, and he is hit and manages to fall forward for a couple of yards. Well, they hit him at about the 40, but They pushed him forward on the tackle down to the 37-yard line. So instead of about 3rd and 5, it's going to be 3rd down and 2 now after that 4-yard pickup by Lefevre. So again, we'll see if the Hawks can make a big defensive play. They'd like to get the ball back here. Tie ball game at 8, early stages, 3rd quarter. Pro set of the backfield. Now we have a penalty flag down. And was one of the Hawks in the neutral zone? I think that's the case. Yes, they were. So another critical mistake here by the Hawks. Going to give the Jackets an automatic 1st down.
Didn't look like they'd hardly lined up yet.
Right.
Tough call there.
So the ball up to the 32-yard line, and it'll be a 1st and 10 now, so Jackets didn't have to worry about the 4th down. Pro set of the backfield, slot right, hand off to Brazel, working his way off the right side, driving forward, pounds his way inside the 30 and down to about the 29-yard line. For Valley, they had 84 yards on 18 carries in that first half. Leading the way was Jackson Land. He carried 6 times for 26 yards. Jordan Curtis, 4 totes for 24. Colton Dickey, 3 carries for 15. And Cole Cooper had 1 for 7. 2nd and 7 now at the 29 for Mitchell. And they're getting away from that T formation. Here's the pitch now to Brazel. Oh, and a nice open field tackle made by Cole Cooper. He lunged at the legs of Brandon Brazel and got just enough of him to trip him up. If not, that might have been a huge gainer for Brazel. Instead, he goes down at the 28, only a yard gain on the play. So now the Jackets looking at a 3rd down and 6 from the Valley 28.
Yeah, Cole went low there, and boy, hit him just perfectly, and he had some room if that play wasn't made. So a great play by Cole.
Duncan, the lone setback. 2 slot backs. Here is back to throw is Lefevre. Instead, he hands off to Brandon Brazel, and the Hawks can't bring him down. He broke 4 different tackles on his way to the end zone, and the Jackets have taken the lead as Valley is all trying to tackle high, and against a guy that's just 5'9", 217 pounds, that's not going to work. And the Jackets have taken their first lead of the ball game with 7:33 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, we were too high, Mike. He was running up through there, got some good blocking, but we needed to hit him a little lower there to bring him down.
And the Jackets are going to go for 2. Lefevre, T formation backfield, hands off to Brazel, driving forward. Oh, he hit the line of scrimmage, and again, the Hawks, he just bounced off. The Valley defenders, like a pinball, kept his legs moving and gets into the end zone, and the Jackets are in front now. 7:33 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. On the Fast Eddie's Country Store and Deli scoreboard, Jackets 14, Blackhawks 8. Back with more Springs Valley football after this timeout.
Trane engineers put our heating and cooling products through almost every test imaginable. So while you're firing up a pot of coffee, they're firing golf balls into a compressor. Testing like this is the reason Trane is so reliable. And why our engineers tend to have a wicked slice.
For year-round comfort and savings in your home, count on Edwards Heating and Cooling, your Trane dealer in Mitchell. For a free estimate, call 849-5489.
It's hard to stop a train. Really hard.
Jackets take their first possession of the 3rd quarter to the house. Now as Petty kicks off, Colby Lowe taking it at the 10. Starting up the middle of the field, breaks to the near side and gets it out over the 30 and up maybe to about the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. So now the Hawks find themselves down on the scoreboard for the first time tonight, and we'll see if the Hawks can get some offense generated here. Again, they have showed, Kevin, they can move the football, but you've got to be able to finish your drives, and Valley has not been able to do that.
Yeah, they're going to have to put it, move it, but then they're going to have to score now because you give the ball back to Mitchell, and Mitchell's going to be able to run some time off that clock. So it's a big drive here. We got decent field position, and just hang on to the football. Like I said, our play calling's been good, so I feel like we can move the ball against them.
16-8, Mitchell. Ball snapped back to Cooper. Hands off now to Dickey, and again trying to sidestep tacklers, and again nobody could get past Garrett Lindsey, who drove in and bulls Dickey down for no gain on the play. And again, it looks like it's going back here, Kevin, to where Mitchell's starting to dominate the line.
Well, they're definitely had the momentum this second half. They came out and went to their bread and butter there with Brazel, and their offensive line did a nice job. But right now, our offensive line has to really step up, and we got to make some plays.
In motion is Curtis. He gets it on the sweep, trying to turn the corner, and he is tripped up. Tries to stay on his feet. Gets it out over the 35, up to about the 36. That was a nice play made by the linebacker Levi Smith to slow Curtis down, and now they're going to mark his forward progress back to the 34. It's only a 2-yard gain there, and now the Hawks looking at a 3rd down and 8. And certainly after watching Mitchell drive the ball down at will and score, you don't want to have a 3-and-out here.
No, Mitchell had 5 or 6 guys running the football there. They did a nice job. They strung it out and was able to close in and make the play.
3rd and long. In motion is Curtis. Back to throw is Cooper, rolling to his right. Now steps up, and he's hit, and down he goes. Not much time again as this Mitchell line controlling things now, as Cooper will pick up actually will lose a yard back to the 33. So that'll go as a quarterback sack. It'll bring up 4th and 9, and I'm sure in this particular situation, Mark Hammond has no choice but to punt the football away, and in fact, Cole Cooper back in punt formation. Tyson James standing back deep now for Mitchell. So not the kind of start the Hawks wanted. As Cooper gets this one off, it is a short punt, takes a sideways bounce, and Jackson Land will down it at about the Mitchell 38-yard line. So now, Kevin, this Valley defense really going to have to dig in here. They certainly don't want to find themselves down by 2 scores if Mitchell takes this one downfield.
Yeah, they got to plug the gaps. Linebackers have got to come up and make some plays. Got to get to Brazel before he gets started, and then if that ball gets on the ground, the Hawks are going to have to get on it. We need to really cause a turnover here and get the momentum back on our side.
That's been the key thus far. Jackets, no mistakes in this one. They had 3 turnovers. Oh, and Lefevre, as he pulls back out under center, his feet go out from under him. I'm not sure if he might have had a lineman step on him or not, but at any rate, he takes a tumble back to the 35, so Valley will take that gift, a loss of 3, 2nd and 13.
Mike has looked like either Jones or Reynolds just pushed the center right back into him, so a good job by the front line there, really putting pressure on the quarterback.
And back to the T formation for the Jackets, 2nd down and long. Lefevre looks over the Valley defense, takes the snap, pitches it off to Duncan, trying to turn the corner, and he's able to get it out over the 40, up to about the 42-yard line. Making the stop for the Hawks, Jackson Land. He'll spot the ball at the 42. It'll be a gain of 7. 3rd down and 6 now for Mitchell. And again, we've seen in this situation Troy Pritchett go for it on 4th down. So
yeah, we need to get a good stop here.
Lefevre, pro set backfield, long count, takes a snap, hands off to Brazel, just following his blockers, off to the races again. They keep tackling him high, and they just can't bring down Brandon Brazel up high. You can see it. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 Valley players, and Brazel just keeps the legs pumping. He's just too strong, and he's able to bull his way all the way down to the 23-yard line.
What was that?
35-yard run on the play for Brandon Brazel, and the Jackets are on the march again as they look to take command of this football game with 3:48 to go here in the 3rd quarter, leading 16-8. Here's Lefevre back to throw, looking. He's firing into the end zone. He's got a man wide open, and it is caught. touchdown for Mitchell. I believe that is Dane Pritchett that makes the reception, and you knew it was coming at some point during the ball game, as the Jackets would lull you to sleep, and then finally Lefevre with his first pass of the ball game heaves it into the end zone, and the coach's son, Dane Pritchett, hauls it in, a 23-yard touchdown catch, and the Jackets now have a 22-8 lead with 3:35 to go, third quarter. Pro set of the backfield, handoff to Brazel, and this time the Hawks stop him short of the goal line, but the Hawks really now in some trouble here, as with 3:35 to go, third quarter on the Fast Eddie's Country Store and Deli scoreboard, they trail Mitchell now 22-8. We'll take a break and be back with more Blackhawks football right after this.
It's the summer of Jeep at Bedford Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get exclusive deals on new 2018 Jeep Renegades and get up to $5,000 total cash allowance. Take on the roads and discover your journey with comfort and style this summer with a new 2018 Jeep Renegade from Bedford Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Check out the Jeep Renegades in stock by visiting drivebedford.com. That's drivebedford.com. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
This is Springs Valley senior lineman Justin Haley. Your powered station for Blackhawks sports is Q100 WFLQ.
Cody Petty gets his foot into the ball field. This is the 10-yard line by Jackson Land, straight up the middle field, crosses the 20, gets it up to about the 25-yard line before he goes down. Just a 4-play drive for the Jackets, covering 62 yards in a minute and 40 seconds. The big play was that 35-yard run by Brandon Brazel that set up Mitchell at the Valley 23, and on the next play, Luke Lefevre hitting Dane Pritchett in the end zone for the score. And now Valley finds themselves down 22-8 here with 3:23 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, Mike, got to be a little bit patient here and not panic. We just got to drive the football and make some plays.
Inside handoff, and again, nothing doing here for the Hawks. That counterplay worked pretty well last week against Eastern Green, but that was one of the staples for Troy Pritchett in his heyday. Those outstanding Blackhawk teams of the late 80s and early 90s. This one actually loses a yard back to the 25. It'll bring up now a second down and 11. That was Colby Lowe on the carry. So all of a sudden Mitchell has stepped it up and really controlling all phases of the game. Here's Lowe again making a couple of cuts, but again, just too many white shirts out there, Kevin. You want to try to get some isolation out there, maybe one-on-one, but is it maybe the fact that guys aren't sustaining their blocks well enough?
Yeah, it doesn't look like we're blocking downfield. And then the other thing, boy, Mitchell is really, this second half, have stepped it up. I mean, they're playing at a little different level than they were, and, Valley's going to have to respond. You got to step it up, and our guys are going to have to block harder, and our backs are going to have to get something going downhill. Probably going to have to open it up a little bit throwing here. We'll see what coach wants here.
Cooper in at quarterback, takes the snap, drops back to throw. This time he has time, fires it downfield, and the pass, just off the fingertips of Jordan Curtis. He was running an out pattern. Out over the 45-yard line, about 15 yards downfield. It wasn't the best pass in the world. Jordan took a dive at it, could not get it, though. And it'll bring up now fourth down, and again, another 3 and out here for the Hawks.
Our defense now really has to step up. Mitchell doesn't have anybody back, Mike, so they're going to make sure that...
Maybe anticipating a fake. But
good punt.
Cole gets it off, and it'll take a nice Valley roll all the way down to the 30-yard line. So that is a 40-yard punt. The one before for Cole was 29, but this one really got his foot into it. Nobody back, as Kevin mentioned, for Mitchell, so it just rolled. But now the Hawks are really going to have to dig in as they trail 22-8 with 1:51 to go here in the third quarter on the Fast Eddie scoreboard, as Jackets take over now 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, Valley's they've been committing, but these front 9 people are going to really have to start making plays up in there early.
Pro set backfield. Pitch goes off now, and carrying the football is Xander England, 6-foot junior, the first time he is carried, trying to get it to the outside, and picks up some decent yardage. They'll spot the ball up at the 35, so a gain of 5. Set up now a 2nd down and 5. Go Blackhawks and go to Dairy Queen of Springs Valley for the DQ Reese Outrageous. It's the August Blizzard of the month. And remember, you get $5 off DQ frozen cakes in the display case every Monday at Dairy Queen of Springs Valley. 2nd and 5, back to the T formation here for the Jackets. Lefevre takes the snap, hands off. This is England again. He fumbles the football, but I think the Jackets are able to fall on top of it. They do, as it was Garrett Lindsey, the left tackle. Good job by the Hawks to jar that football loose, but Mitchell was able to fall on top of it. It'll be actually a gain of 1 to set up a 3rd down and 4, and we've got an injured Blue Jacket out on the field. We can't tell who that is. It may be the ball carrier.
No, it wasn't the ball carrier, Mike.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out who that was.
All right, we'll try to
44.
Figure out who that might be. Looks like that would be Levi Smith, their linebacker, who usually doesn't play on offense. Matt Cooper and the team of surveyors and engineers at BRCJ Incorporated are proud of our young leaders that excel between the lines and in the classroom. BRCJ salutes the parents, teachers, and coaches for their support of these activities, because life is a team sport. Apparently not too serious an injury. Smith off the field under his own power. So when play resumes, Jackets will have a 3rd and 4 now at their own 36, down under a minute to go here, third quarter. It's the Hawks trail on the Fast Eddie scoreboard at 22-8. T formation backfield.
Left side of our
James moves
defense.
to the right slot. Pitch goes off to Brazel, looking for running room, driving forward, and he's going to be stopped shy of the 1st down. He'll get it to the 38. So that's going to leave about a 4th and 2, and as we've seen, Troy Pritchett all evening long, he's gone for it no matter where his team has been on the field, and he may wait till the 4th quarter. They do not have to snap the ball here before the end of the 3rd quarter, and I don't think they will, as time certainly their ally with the lead. Chicago's Pizza, good. Stop by Chicago's on the Boulevard in French Lick for the salad bar lunch, 11 to 1:30 Monday through Friday. Salad, pizza, breadsticks, and drink for $7.99 at Chicago's Pizza in French Lick, 936-2962. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter. The 3rd belonging to the Jackets as they score twice. And we go to the 4th quarter with the Jackets leading the Hawks 22-8 on the Fast Eddie's Country Store and Deli scoreboard. This is Springs Valley High School football.
Your car is not just a mode of transportation. It is an investment. To protect that investment, take it to the guys at Woolston Automotive in Mitchell to keep it in tip-top condition. David Woolston and the crew have a combined half-century of experience, so you know your vehicle is in good hands. From the simplest of tune-ups to major overhauls, you can count on Woolston Automotive to do the job right. Trust your car's maintenance to the pros at Woolston Automotive on Main Street in downtown Mitchell. Call 849-4012.
When you come to the Lot B location of Roots RV and Sales, you'll see the new line of flatbeds, utility trailers, and dumps from Rice Manufacturing, featuring style wheels and colorful new designs. Roots is also proud to carry PJ's flatbeds, made to haul any equipment you may have. Need storage? Check out the many lines of cargo trailers in stock, and be sure to ask about how you can rent just about any item Roots has. They can even special order if you don't see exactly what you need. For new and used utility trailers, car haulers, cargoes, dumps, and more, come to the Roots RV and Sales Lot B location on Highway 37 just north of Mitchell.
And the 4th quarter begins. Mitchell facing a 4th and 2 and a fake into the line, and then the pitch off to Nate Reynolds, and he was able to turn the corner on the sweep and pick up the 1st down.
10 yards, Mike. He looked like he picked up
Yeah, all the way out to the 47-yard line. So the Hawks were stunning the gaps that time, hoping that maybe Brazel would get it, but instead, again, Troy Pritchett, always a step ahead, called for the sweep, and Mitchell keeps the football. They've got it 1st and 10 now at their own 48 after the 10-yard gain. Pro set backfield. Handoff goes to Dorian Duncan. Stopped after a short gain. Gets it close to midfield. With Kevin Mills and our statistician, Tanya Perez, Mike Hamilton, at Springs Valley High School in French Lick. Home opener for the Hawks, and they still have some work to do. They trail 22-8 here as we're just underway with the fourth quarter. The main thing right now is just getting the football back, as they have.
Yeah, they're hurting us right out. They're hurting us right off tackle, Mike. If we run straight at them, our two big guys are doing a good job. But when they slant it a little wider, we just.
Here's the pitch, and slipping through a hole is Levi Smith, and he is going to get a huge gainer once again, as it looks like the Hawks are wearing down now, as Mitchell absolutely dominating the line of scrimmage. Smith able to slip through the right side and carries it all the way down to the 28. That's a 22-yard gain on the play, and another first down. And while it may not be the final nail in the coffin if Mitchell scores here, it's really going to make it tough for the Hawks to come back from 3 scores down. Now Mitchell sets into a lone setback situation. Pitch goes off to Reynolds, again getting a nice hole off the left side, and he will pick up close to 5 yards on the play. That's been the key here tonight for this Jacket team. They had 3 fumbles last week, Kevin, and almost 50 yards in penalties. Tonight, no turnovers and 5 yards in penalties.
Yeah, they're executing awfully well, Mike, and they're starting to mix in another 2 or 3 backs in there now, and they're getting fresh. And our kids are, getting their hands on their hips. And
right, Bradley's not even in the game.
No,
right
he's over on the sideline. So
2nd and 5 at the Valley 23. Lefevre hands off. Reynolds again. This time he is tripped up, but again he falls forward for 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. Adam George in on the stop. Valley's defense consisting of Colton Reynolds and Nick Jones, the tackles, both at 280, both seniors. Justin Haley, the right end, at 200 and a senior. Caleb McCracken, the left end, at 185 and a junior. Off the 20-yard line, 3rd down and 2 now for the Jackets. Back to the T formation here. Lefevre takes the snap. Inside handoff. Oh, hit at the line of scrimmage was Levi Smith. Nice job there. Made by, I think that was Nate Hamilton that got in there and hit him. No gain on the play. It'll bring up now 4th and 2. The outside linebackers for the Hawks, Ammon Acuff at 185 and a junior. Mark Pieper at 150 and a senior. The inside linebackers, Adam George, 170 and a junior. Justin Shipman at 195 and a senior. Corners, Cole Cooper, 155 and a senior. Colton Dickey at 155 and a junior. And the safety, Jordan Curtis, at 165 and a junior.
Mike, they brought Brazel back in. I imagine he's getting the ball.
They'll go for it on 4th and 2 at the Valley 20-yard line. The pitch to Brazel, driving forward, and I'm not sure if he got it or not. It's going to be close. Hawks were able to stand him up. It's going to depend on where they spot the football here. And they're going to look, and it is enough for the first down. Just barely got it by about half the length of the football. So another set of downs here for the Jackets as they'll continue to work time off the clock. Down to 8:15 remaining. Hawks trailing 22-8 on the Fast Eddie scoreboard. This game was tied at 8, but the Jackets have come out and dominated play here in the second half. Lefevre takes the snap. Hands off. No, he's going to keep the football, run around right in, and nobody's going to touch him. He breaks the plane to the goal line. He's in for the touchdown, and the Jackets have almost put this one away. 3rd score of the second half, as the Hawks have been absolutely unable to contain this Mitchell offense. Good fake that time by the quarterback, Lefevre, and then he runs around right in for the touchdown with 7:59 remaining, and now it is a 20-point lead here for the Jackets, trying to make it 21 as Cody Petty in for the extra point. Ball is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Jackets on their way to their third straight win over the Hawks with 7:59 to go, fourth quarter on the Past Eddie's Country Store and Deli scoreboard. They lead Valley 29-8. Back with more Springs Valley football in just a moment.
In today's fast-paced society, we depend on our cars to get us where we need to go. With work, kids, and a busy lifestyle, we don't have time for breakdowns. That's why so many people take their vehicles to B&L Auto Repair in Mitchell to get back on the road as soon as possible. With 3 full-time mechanics on duty, including owner Clifton Odell, B&L will use computer diagnostics to determine your problem so they can get it repaired and have you on your way in no time. Trust the team with a decade of complete automotive computer diagnostic service to the area. B&L Auto Repair at the corner of 8th and Grissom in Mitchell. 849-4684.
This is Springs Valley senior linebacker Justin Chipman. Hear every pass, handoff, and tackle of Blackhawks football on the sports voice of the Valley, Q100.
Jackets have broken this one open with their third score since halftime, now 29-8 on the Fast Eddie scoreboard. Petty kicking off, end over end boot, fielded at the 14-yard line by Jackson Land, trying to get a wall, brings it out across the 25 and up to the 30-yard line. So the Hawk offense back to the drawing board, and boy, they scored, Kevin, on their first play from scrimmage, and since that time, the Jackets have been able to keep them in check. Hawks have moved the ball at times, but again, sustaining drives. The Hawks, if they're going to have any success this season, are going to have to figure out a way to finish drives.
Yeah, they're going to have to finish those, Mike, because we're not going to put a bunch of points up. When we get a shot, we're going to have to stick it in there. And, Mitchell just came out the second half and just totally took control of the football game. And
back to throw, Cooper rolling to his right, fires downfield. He's got his man. That's Jordan Curtis. Nice run after the catch as he hauls it in at the 40 and is able to carry it out over the 45 and up to about the 47-yard line. That may be the best play other than the touchdown pass to start the ball game, as that one will go for 18 yards and the first down of the contest, first down of the second half for the Hawks.
Cole's made some nice passes, and it looks like that he sees the field pretty well. He really was patient there, and Jordan Curtis was able to come across the middle, and he hit him right in stride for a nice gain.
Acuff splits wide of the near side. Ball snapped back to Cooper, looking downfield. Oh, he's in trouble, and he's hit, and down he goes. His feet kind of went out from under him a little bit, and that slowed him up enough, and now Cole, slow in getting up, may have been shaken up. He'll lose yardage back to the 39-yard line, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 9, second sack of the contest for the Jackets. Well, if you need a break, a time to just relax and unwind, call for your appointment with one of the Reeser Chiropractic's board-certified massage therapists. But if it's not just sore muscles, you want to see Dr. Lolita, she has your back. Call for your appointment, Reeser Chiropractic Center in Paoli, 723-2277. Hawks need to hurry here. They're not going to get the play off, and I think Mark Hammond had to call timeout to save a delay of game penalty, and he did indeed do just that. Go Blackhawks, and go to Dairy Queen of Springs Valley for the DQ Reese Outrageous. It's the August Blizzard of the month. And remember, you get $5 off DQ frozen cakes in the display case every Monday at Dairy Queen of Springs Valley. Time out of the field, 6:34 left. Jackets on top of the Hawks, 29-8 on the Fast Eddie scoreboard. Back with more Valley football when we return.
Rolling Tire and Auto, your auto value dealer in West Baden, gives new meaning to the term complete car care. It starts with Rolling, carrying a full line of auto parts for all you do-it-yourselfers, not just parts, but the tools to install them. Then it moves to tires, where you can choose from some of the best brands in the business, including Uniroyal, Michelin, and BF Goodrich. And then with 3 full-time certified mechanics, Rolling will get you back on the road with repairs on services from air conditioning to wheel alignments and everything in between. Celebrating over 50 years of providing the area with the best in automotive care, see them on the Boulevard in West Baden or visit rollingtireandauto.com.
This is Springs Valley senior lineman Nathan Hamilton. Thanks for listening to Blackhawks football right here on Q100.
Now we had to burn a timeout. Save the delay of game. Now second down and long. Ball snapped back to Jackson Land. He takes off with a football, trying to get to the outside. Crosses the 45 and will get a nice gain out of it. Problem is, it was second and very long for the Hawks. He'll carry it up to the 47-yard line, so it's an 8-yard gain on the play, but it'll bring up now a third down and 11 now for Valley. But down by 21, you got to figure here near midfield they're going to be in 4-down territory. That was first carry of the second half for Jackson Land.
Yeah, we need a big confidence builder here, going even for next week. You see if we can put one in the end zone and keep a drive going.
Back to throw is Land. Jackson going up long for Cole Cooper, and it is batted down at the last second. Leighton Allen on the coverage there as Cooper was streaking down the near sideline, and the pass again underthrown just a tad bit. And it'll bring up now a fourth down and 11, and this may be the last gasp here for the Hawks if they entertain any hopes of winning this football game.
Allen's played a nice game tonight. He's been with our receivers. The first play of the game, Mitchell got beat, but since then they've been able to stay with our receivers pretty well.
Matt Cooper and the team of surveyors and engineers at BRCJ Incorporated are proud of our young leaders that excel between the lines and in the classroom. BRCJ salutes the parents, teachers, and coaches for their support of these activities because life is a team sport. On fourth down and 11, the rollout by Land didn't find anybody open, turned it upfield, able to cross midfield, but he needed 11. He's only going to get about 4 or 5, and the Hawks are going to have to turn over the ball on down. So a 4-yard pickup for Jackson, not nearly enough, and the Hawks have kept the Jackets rather have kept the Hawks in check here, and they've got the football back and can work some more time off the clock here as they have it now at their own 49-yard line. Lefevre still in there at quarterback, hands off to Dorian Duncan, works his way off the left side, crosses midfield, takes it to about the 48-yard line. It'll set up now a second down. Chicago's Pizza, good. Stop by Chicago's on the Boulevard in French Lick for the salad bar lunch, 11 to 1:30 Monday through Friday. Salad, pizza, breadsticks, and drink for $7.99 at Chicago's Pizza in French Lick, 936-2962. And as always, we are indebted to our good friends at Chicago's for providing the Q100 sports staff with another terrific pie. Pro set of the backfield on second down and 7. And this looks like it is Brandon Brazel carrying the football. It's been a workhorse tonight for this Jacket squad.
Yep.
And he will pick up a couple of yards here to the 40. Now it's actually closer to the 45, so we'll call it a 3-yard gain, third down and 4. Is he over 100 yards yet?
151, Mike.
Okay, yeah, I'd say he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, 22 carries for 151 yards, and he's really been a big difference in the ball game.
Absolutely.
He's just a strong runner, runs downhill, and he's just hard to bring down.
T formation backfield. Lefevre hands off, and it looks like that is Brazel again. Yep, just bowling his way forward. Nothing fancy for this Mitchell team. I mean, you literally call it 3 yards and a cloud of dust, and that's the MO for this Mitchell team, and a 5-yard pickup for Brazel, and they pick up the first down and can eat some more time up.
Mike, I know it's hard to go back, but I think a big part of the ball game was when Valley scored quick and Mitchell was able to maintain their posture and come right back and have a drive down and put it in.
It looked like somebody on the right side of that line jumped early. Reynolds, the ball carrier for Mitchell, finding a big hole straight ahead, running, pounds his way inside the 35 and down to about the 33-yard line before the Hawks can spill him. Gain of 7 on the play. It'll set up now a second down and 3. Don't forget next week the Big Orange Bowl. Rams taking on Corydon tonight. And Valley hoping they weren't going to go into that game 0-2, but it looks like that's going to be the case. Here's Reynolds again carrying the football. He'll be stopped shy of the first down, but he will pick up another yard, perhaps two. It'll set up now 3rd down and short as we dip inside of 3 minutes remaining here in this football game. It is a 2-yard game. If you need a break or just a time to relax and unwind, call for your appointment with one of the Beecher Chiropractic's board-certified massage therapists. They'll get you back into shape, but if it's not just sore muscles, you'll want to see Dr. Lolita. She has your back. Call for your appointment. Beecher Chiropractic Center in Pale, 872-2277. And this time the Hawks are able to snow under Lefevre. He faked the handoff, tried to keep the football, and Hawks came crashing in on him. Led there by Caleb McCracken. A loss of a yard back to the 32, so it'll bring up now 4th down and 2. And while it may not make any difference in the results, I'm sure Hawks would like a moral victory here and try to keep Mitchell from hanging on to the football here with 2:08 to go. So on 4th down and 2, Lefevre, long count, takes the snap, pitches it off, and fighting for first down yardage was Brazel, and I don't think he got it. I don't think he had to get quite to the 40-yard line, but again, we will see where they mark the football. And from here, it looks like it is short, and indeed, they're going to say it is Valley football. So the Hawks do hold the Jackets on downs. So they will take over the football now with 1:56 to go. The problem is they are trailing by 21 points, and they have the ball at their own 32-yard line.
Mike, I believe that may be the first time we've stopped in this half. No.
It is, yeah. So the Hawks back on offense. Back to throw is Cooper. Looking, rolling to his left. Now will keep the football, runs into his own blocker, and he's hit, and he's going to go down. Again, Jackets secondary doing the job here of keeping Valley receivers blanketed. And Cooper will lose yardage back to the 26-yard line. It'll be a loss of 6. It'll set up now a 2nd down and 16. 3rd sack now of the contest for the Jackets. Go Blackhawks and go to Dairy Queen of Springs Valley for the DQ Reese Outrageous. It's the August Blizzard of the month, and remember you get $5 off DQ frozen cakes in the display case every Monday at DQ of Springs Valley. Back to throw Cooper on 2nd and long. Screen pass caught out here by Dickey. He's got some running room, breaks to the outside, and then a nice open field tackle made out there by Nate Reynolds. But Dickey, with his first catch of the ball game, picks up 10 yards out to the 36-yard line. So that'll set up now a 3rd down and 6. Again, back to throw, play action. Cooper rolling to his right, looking, fires it downfield, and it's intercepted. That is Dane Pritchett that picks it off, and returns it to the 35-yard line. Dane Pritchett, the coach's son, will put the exclamation mark on the 3rd straight win of the series for the Jackets. 2nd turnover of the game for the Hawks. And this one, for all intents and purposes, is over. Penalty here on the Hawks with 28 seconds remaining. But it's going to matter little here as they will move the ball up 5 yards.
Yeah, Mike, at halftime, it really looked like we was looking at 2 even teams. And, the second half, Mitchell, just dominated the football game. I'm not sure what we have, 1 or 2 first downs the second half.
That's about it, yeah. So the Jackets take over 1st and 10 now at the Valley 30-yard line after the interception. And it looks like the Jackets will be in victory formation. All Luke Lefevre has to do is take the snap, drop to a knee, which he does, and the final seconds will run out. And the Jackets come into French Lick and keep the Blackhawks winless. And a good start for Mitchell in the conference as they will pick up the victory here tonight as they defeat Valley for the 3rd straight season. Matt Cooper and the team of surveyors and engineers at BRCJ Incorporated are proud of our young leaders that excel between the lines and in the classroom. BRCJ salutes the parents, teachers, and coaches for their support of these activities because life is a team sport. With that drop of the knee, this one comes to an end, and disappointment once again for the Springs Valley Blackhawks as they fall for the second consecutive week, virtually by the identical score from last week. They give up the same amount of points, 29. The only good thing is that they were able to score on their very first play from scrimmage, and you thought that this would be a good night offensively for this Blackhawk team, but Mitchell shut that down quickly, although the Hawks did have one 21-play, 12-minute drive there in that second quarter, but got no points out of it, and that helped give the Jackets the momentum they needed going into the second half as they scored 3 times unanswered after intermission, and they go on to pick up the victory. We'll be back to recap all of tonight's action in a moment. The final score here this evening at the Hawks Nest in French Lick on the Fast Eddie's Country Store and Deli scoreboard. The Mitchell Blue Jackets 29, the Springs Valley Blackhawks 8. You're listening to Springs Valley High School Football.
A salute to the Blackhawks from Tony Robbins and the construction crew at TRC Construction in French Lick. For concrete work, land clearing, and site work, driveways, foundations, patios, and sidewalks, call TRC Construction 653-7007.
Score big with the region's best internet deal for the best speed. Here's some great news. When you switch to Smithville for our nationally recognised internet service, you automatically get our best speed available. We don't sell speed tiers or data caps. So if you're tired of reading the fine print on internet speed, get Smithville's rock-solid internet platform. Go online today at switchtosmithville.com and get Smithville's best speed. That's switchtosmithville.com.
In today's fast-paced society, we depend on our cars to get us where we need to go. With work, kids, and a busy lifestyle, we don't have time for breakdowns. That's why so many people take their vehicles to B&L Auto Repair in Mitchell to get back on the road as soon as possible. With 3 full-time mechanics on duty, including owner Clifton Odell, B&L will use computer diagnostics to determine your problem so they can get it repaired and have you on your way in no time. Trust the team with a decade of complete automotive computer diagnostic service to the area. B&L Auto Repair at the corner of 8th and Grissom in Mitchell. 849-4684.
When you come to the Lot B location of Roots RV and Sales, you'll see the new line of flatbeds, utility trailers, and dumps from Rice Manufacturing, featuring style wheels and colorful new designs. Roots is also proud to carry PJ's flatbeds, made to haul any equipment you may have. Need storage? Check out the many lines of cargo trailers in stock, and be sure to ask about how you can rent just about any item Roots has. They can even special order if you don't see exactly what you need. For new and used utility trailers, car haulers, cargoes, dumps, and more, come to the Roots RV and Sales Lot B location on Highway 37 just north of Mitchell.
Train endurance engineers stop at nothing to push our heating and cooling units to the brink. Their methods may seem unconventional,
Test to control. Fire up the pitching machine.
but they're the reason it's hard to stop a train.
For year-round comfort and savings in your home, count on Edwards Heating and Cooling, your Train dealer in Mitchell. For a free estimate, call 849-5489.
It's hard to stop a train. Really hard.
Back again at Springs Valley High School in French Lick. Mike Hamilton along with Kevin Mills, where the Hawks have fallen for the 3rd consecutive year to the Mitchell Blue Jackets. 29-8 on the Fast Eddie's Country Store and Deli scoreboard is the way the final will read in this one. It looked as though almost from the get-go that this would be a nip-and-tuck affair, both teams evenly matched. But Kevin, after halftime, the Jackets just, again, as they did to start the contest, ran it down Valley's throat, put together a nifty little 8-play, 60-yard drive, and that would be the first of 3 scores they would have in the second half of play as they were able to pull away from the Hawks here tonight.
Yeah, Mike, you know what we mentioned, at halftime, both teams playing good football, and, Mitchell just came out the second half, and they're, were able to control the football, no turnovers, and put those first couple of scores in there in the second half, and put us on our heels. And offensively, it's going to take a challenge this year to put. We're going to have to keep teams under 20, and then we're going to have to cause some turnovers, to come up and be able to come away with some victories. Offensively, we're not going to throw the ball a whole lot, and we got decent speed in the backfield. But overall, we just got to really be a little better. I thought defensively, second half, we didn't play probably our worst half overall in the 4 quarters we've had so far. I thought defensively we just didn't step up to the challenge there, and put the stops on Mitchell where we could stay in the football game.
And again, either you can look at it two ways, I guess, Kevin. The Hawk offense got bogged down, or credit Mitchell's defense. At any rate, Valley had 163 yards of total offense in the first half of play. Mitchell held them to just 30 yards and only 2 rushing yards in the entire second half.
Yeah, it was just a dominating, play by Mitchell. When especially, Mike, like you had mentioned, we kept the ball the whole second quarter. I mean, just to control the football the whole time. Even though we didn't score, it looked like, we were going to be able to move the football for the rest of the ball game, and it was just a matter if who could outscore each other in that second half. But like I said, Mitchell really stepped up defensively and put pressure on us, and their offense had a lot to do with that, where they were able to control the ball the whole second half, and that gave their defense a lot of confidence also.
Well, let's take a look at the scoring. It looked like it was going to be a great night for the Hawks. Boy, did they get out of the gate strong, and that was one of the keys, especially from last week, as Valley got down 16-0 and really never recovered. But that was not the case tonight, because on their very first play from scrimmage, Cole Cooper was able to hook up with Jackson Land on a 73-yard bomb, their first play from scrimmage, to put the Hawks on top. And then Cooper hit Ammon Acuff in the end zone for the 2-point conversion, and Valley led 8-0. But give credit to the Jackets. They came right back and put together a nifty little drive of their own. In fact, covered 60 yards in 11 plays in 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Brandon Brazel, the Burley senior running back for this Mitchell team, he would probably be what Chuck Akers might describe as one of those fire hydrants, guys that are just so hard to bring down, and Hawks found that out tonight. He carried it in from 9 yards out with 6:35 to go in the opening quarter, and we were tied up at 8 after Bradsell ran it in for the 2-point conversion. It stayed that way through halftime, but the Jackets got the ball to start the third quarter, and they really showed their domination from that point on. Their first drive of the third quarter covered 58 yards in 8 plays, needing 4 minutes and 27 seconds. Brazel with his second touchdown as he rumbled in from 28 yards out at the 7:33 mark of the third quarter. He also again pummeled it in for the 2-point conversion, and the Jackets led 16-8. What Valley was hoping for was a sustained drive, but it never came. They had a 3-and-out, punted the ball back to the Jackets, who took over at their own 38-yard line and needed just 4 plays to go 62 yards in 1 minute and 40 seconds. A Brazel 35-yard dash helped in that drive. The final 23 on the touchdown came when Luke Lefevre hit Dane Pritchett in the end zone at the 3:35 mark. The run for the 2-point conversion was no good, but the Jackets had a 2-score lead at that point, 22-8, and then they pretty well put it away early on in the fourth quarter as they capped an 11-play, 70-yard drive in 5 minutes and 52 seconds with an 18-yard Luke Lefevre sweep around right in. Cody Petty was able to boot the extra point, and that made the final 29-8 as the Hawks, as we said, managed just 30 yards total offense in the second half, picked up just 1 first down. That was the 18-yard catch by Jordan Curtis as the Jackets, for all intents and purposes, shut down this Valley offense, who now has scored just 1 touchdown through their first 2 ball games. And while their defense has not done that bad of a job, you got to be able to score points to win ball games. So back to the drawing board for this Valley team, and they will need to find it quickly because they probably have their biggest game of the year coming up next week in the Orange Bowl. Final again, 29-8 in favor of Mitchell on the Fast Eddie scoreboard. We'll take a break and continue with more of our post-game activities from the Hawks Nest in French Lick in a moment. This is Springs Valley High School football.
Springs Valley Bank and Trust Company personally extends an invitation to our customers, community, active service personnel, and veterans for lunch on us. Our appreciation cookout is Friday, September 21st from 11 to 1 at our Valley Banking Center. Register for a prize, receive a gift, and enjoy a scoop of Springs Valley Swirls ice cream. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. No purchase necessary, need not be present to win. A copy of the official terms and conditions are available upon request.
Your car is not just a mode of transportation, it is an investment. To protect that investment, take it to the guys at Woolston Automotive in Mitchell to keep it in tip-top condition. David Woolston and the crew have a combined half-century of experience, so you know your vehicle is in good hands. From the simplest of tune-ups to major overhauls, you can count on Woolston Automotive to do the job right. Trust your car's maintenance to the pros at Woolston Automotive on Main Street in downtown Mitchell. Call 849-4012.
You've worked hard to build and protect your estate throughout your lifetime. Enjoy the confidence that comes from knowing all you've worked for may be preserved for your heirs. Please call Jamie Sullivan, Senior Vice President of Investments of Sullivan Financial Consulting of Raymond James, located in Mitchell at 849-2670. Jamie can help design a comprehensive plan suited for your family's future financial needs. Call Jamie Sullivan today at 849-2670. Raymond James and Associates Incorporated, member New York Stock Exchange, SIPC.
A salute to the Blackhawks from Tony Robbins and the construction crew at TRC Construction in French Lick for concrete work, land clearing, and site work, driveways, foundations, patios, and sidewalks. Call TRC Construction 653-7007.
Back once again at Springs Valley High School as the Hawks fall to the Mitchell Blue Jackets tonight by a final count of 29-8 on the Fast Eddie's Country Store and Deli scoreboard. Joining us here after the contest, Blackhawks head coach Mark Hammond. And Coach, I'm not sure if this had a lot to do with the game. Actually, it was turned out to be pretty big. I don't know if you know it, but there in that second quarter, you actually took over the football with 1:08 to go in the first quarter, held the ball for 12 minutes and 24 seconds, 24-play drive, or 21-play drive, I should say. You converted 3 fourth downs in the series, but the bad news is you got no points out of it.
Yeah, and that, like I said, talking to Coach Mills here, I said the same thing. That didn't tell the kids at halftime, but I knew that was big. Not being able to put up a score and be up at halftime with them getting the ball, start the second half. I felt it a little bit there. You could always tell the momentum a little bit, and I think we was inside the 10, if I'm not mistaken, before we got maybe pushed back on a penalty or something. But yeah, you kind of feel those little swings and stuff. And I thought the first half we controlled things pretty well. Like I said, we let them have that first drive, but then we made little adjustments defensively and was able to get the ball away from them a couple times, and then we was able to hold the ball. And that's what we were trying to do. Of course, you love to score any way you can, but keeping the ball away from them is also a good thing. So. But I did see that in the first half. I thought, we moved, of course, come out and hit Jackson on the first play. That was big, and then we just, I thought our backs missed some nice holes that they could have, broke a few more yards and kept the ball a little longer. And like I said, not capitalizing there was big, and I knew it at the time. But again, you still feel pretty good. You're 8-8, and we've battled and moved the ball pretty well. So you go in at halftime feeling okay.
Yeah, Coach, you had second. I think it was 2nd and 2 down there around the 10-yard line. And Kobe, there was a lane there where he could just he'd been right close to the first down, and he made the choice to go a little wide there and end up 3rd and 8, put you in put just a more difficult situation. So that was a big play on a great drive. I thought the play calling was good there. You had them mixed up, and I saw Mitchell's kids were, putting their hands on their hip, and they would be after playing defense the whole second quarter. So it was unfortunate not to be able to get in there before halftime
Yeah, and that's what's going on right now. Yeah, that's why I just told the kids down there. I said, we're not making the play when we need to right there. And right there, like you said, if Colby just takes that power play, puts his head down, gets a first down, we're looking at 1st and 5. Then we follow that up, Coach, with a penalty. We jumped, and that's what took us back even further. So we're just, right there, we're shooting ourselves in the foot, and that's our stuff. That's stuff we can correct, and that's things we will correct.
And it makes a big difference when you're not, it doesn't look like we're going to be real explosive, you know. And when we get our shots down there, we got to capitalize on it. And the second half, it just looked like, they got some momentum. Our defense wasn't attacking, got on our heels a little bit, and Mitchell, really played a offensively. I thought they played about as well as they could play. They didn't have any turnovers, and we're executing well.
Yeah, that's the thing, Coach. We didn't come up with any big 4th down stops. I think we had a chance on their sideline once, and we missed a tackle, and we don't create any turnovers. And I think we had 2 or 3, I think, on our stuff. So that's the battle you want to win, is the turnover battle, and we didn't get it done. But that's another thing with going in at halftime not up. That's almost more important than anything right there. 8-8 instead of we could have been at least 14-8 or 16-8. And I think that's a big mindset difference just with our kids and their kids. They're looking at a deficit instead of being tied, and same thing with us. We're looking at hey, we're up instead of tied. So I think that was a total momentum right there. Even though it was in the first half, it did carry over to second half. I think.
It was a big difference. The drive was great, but they don't play the Brazzell boy on defense, so he rested for a whole quarter.
Yeah,
after he had ran the ball about 10 or 12 times those first 2 drives they had, and I thought he had to go out of the game for a little bit, but he didn't play again until the start of the second half, and he was really ready.
And you could tell he was ready. Exactly. They knew what they were going to do. That's the frustrating thing. Kind of like you said, the first half we was able to kind of maybe step up and stop a little bit, and all week we've preached 2 things. They're going to run Brazzell on those powers, and then they're going to run that quick pitch out wide. When they're able to do that, and you're trying to answer, and you're not having an answer, then it's hard to do, because then they can open up some other things. They hit a pass play for a touchdown, and that's where like I said, they kind of find you open.
Coach, I think Coach Mills, I remember him asking last week after the Eastern game if you thought the defense was a little ahead of the offense, and just again looking at some numbers that were, I think you can see some improvement. Last week we were 1 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. This week 1 of 9 on 3rd down conversions.
And that's what I'm saying. We got to make those plays. We're not making those plays when we need them right now. Whether it's on the offensive, defensive side, we're not kind of having those money downs, as you call them, the 3rd down. We're not making the plays that we need to right there, and some of that's on us. Not always the defense. So I do think we got better this week offensively. I think we got of course, drive ball. We could see what Cooper and Lane can do back there with a little dynamic duo of and we saw several nice plays, and Curtis Lowe and Dickey, and we got some weapons out there. It's just now making it all in sync and making it happen all together and getting comfortable with each other. And I think that's still going on. I do think that we'll get better every week, and I think Cooper and Land, taking a snap is just going to continue to get more comfortable, and that's going to mesh our whole offense together.
How do you feel the kids held up from a stamina standpoint?
Yeah, I tell you, it was one of those weird nights. It started off kind of cool, and then it kind of got a little muggy out there and stuff. But our kids are pretty well conditioned, and they're going. We got to think about 7 or 8 going both ways, and they did fine. I mean, they were still ready to attack there at the end. It just we again didn't have enough to counter.
Well, now you go into a week where at least you don't have to worry about any motivation to get the kids ready for next week, but obviously one of, or if not the biggest game of the year coming up.
Yeah, I mean that's what we told them down there. Said that this team has done a nice job last year and this year of moving on to the next play, next practice, next day, next game, and we said that it doesn't get any bigger than next week. We got Paley coming to town, and they're going to be. I think they have around 20 seniors, and they're going to be loaded and ready to go, just like we will. And we had a couple seniors step up and do some nice, little speeches there in our huddle, and that's what they're going to do. They're going to get ready for next week, and they can feel we're getting a little better, and hopefully it all comes together next week.
I was going to say, you took the words right out of my mouth. There's too much talent on this team, and eventually they're going to get things worked out at some point. Hopefully it begins next week, but again, at some point during the course of this year, we're going to see this team really work together as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, like I said, you hate to compare to last year, year before, whatever. But every team has to learn and gel together. And this year, even though we have a lot of pieces from last year, they're just in different spots, and that's where we're still trying to gel. Even our we got a lot of the defensive guys. We're just still a tick away defensively still. Even though we're playing okay, we could be better, as we saw last year toward the second half of the year. So if that could turn back on our side, we're going to be okay.
All right.
Yeah, what I noticed, Coach, when they tried running almost what I'd call it over top their guards, the Nick Jones and Colton are just shutting that down quickly.
Yeah.
When they get about 2 or 3 yards wider than that, there's been some seams in there, and they just cut the close harder.
Right, and that's right, and that's why we talk about it all the time. We gotta come a little harder, close that gap a little bit better, and we're just not having that guy do it right now. I agree, Coach, 100%.
All right, Coach, we appreciate you coming by. Let's really put it all together next week and bring that Orange Bowl trophy back to French Lick.
Let's hope you're right. Let's get it going. All right, thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Coach.
Thanks, guys. All right, thanks, Coach.
That is Springs Valley head coach Mark Hammond joining us after the contest. We'll have more from him on our Springs Valley Sports Chat coming up on Wednesday night. We'll step aside for a quick break and look at the final statistics when we come back. Again, the final here tonight is the Jackets defeat the Hawks 29-8 on the Fast Eddie's Country Store and Deli scoreboard. Back in a moment. This is Springs Valley High School football.
Rolling Tire and Auto, your auto value dealer in West Baden, gives new meaning to the term complete car care. It starts with Rolling, carrying a full line of auto parts for all you do-it-yourselfers, not just parts, but the tools to install them. Then it moves to tires, where you can choose from some of the best brands in the business, including Uniroyal, Michelin, and BF Goodrich. And then with 3 full-time certified mechanics, Rolling will get you back on the road with repairs on services from air conditioning to wheel alignments and everything in between. Celebrating over 50 years of providing the area with the best in automotive care, see them on the Boulevard in West Baden or visit RollingTireandAuto.com.
It's the summer of Jeep at Bedford Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get exclusive deals on new 2018 Jeep Renegades and get up to $5,000 total cash allowance. Take on the roads and discover your journey with comfort and style this summer with a new 2018 Jeep Renegade from Bedford Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Check out the Jeep Renegades in stock by visiting drivebedford.com. That's drivebedford.com. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Before we continue, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Springs Valley High School football.
Catch all the action of Blackhawk and IU sports on the Sports Voice of the Valley, WFLQ, French Lick, Indiana.
Mike Hamilton, Kevin Mills back at Death Valley. Hawks fall tonight to the Mitchell Blue Jackets 29-8 on the Fast Eddie scoreboard. Chicago's Pizza, good. Stop by Chicago's on the Boulevard in French Lick for the salad bar lunch, 11 to 1:30 Monday through Friday. Salad, pizza, breadsticks, and drink for $7.99 at Chicago's Pizza in French Lick, number 936-2962. Things statistically through the first 24 minutes of action, but that turned quickly in the second half. In fact, the Jackets outgained the Hawks 209-30. After an intermission, and that would pretty well explain why they scored the only 3 touchdowns of the final 2 quarters. They ended up with an even 300 yards of total offense, 277 of those on the ground in 49 carries. Luke Lefevre threw just 1 time. That was the touchdown pass to Dane Pritchett for 23 yards. Jackets had 15 first downs, 13 on the ground, 1 through the air, 1 by penalty. They didn't get to third down a lot, but they didn't convert them when they did. They were just 3 out of 10, but on fourth downs, they were extremely successful, going 5 out of 6. And while they only had the ball 10 minutes in the first half, they had it for 16 of the 24 minutes in the final 2 quarters to end up winning the battle of possession at 26-15 to 21-45. What were, Kevin, rushing lines?
Brandon Brazil, of course, just had a outstanding game. He 24 carries, 158 yards, and the key there is most of the time, Valley's players, they know who's getting the ball there, and he's just still a tough bring down. And Mitchell did a nice job of getting him started, giving him some lanes to get started. So he had an awfully good football game. Number 45, Dorian Duncan, he carried the ball 11 times for 32 yards. So those were the 2 main ball carriers. They did only complete 1 pass, but it was for a touchdown, 23-yard touchdown there to Troy Sundane. So, I just think you look at the way Mitchell played tonight, it was just obvious that they were had their offense down where they felt comfortable. And, the kids, there wasn't any miscommunication in the backfield, and played a pretty simple game and was able to get that 6, 7, 8 yards they needed on first down, and that controlled really when they got the ball. Fortunately for Valley is they had that big second quarter drive, or, we've been really tough with Mitchell getting the ball, 2 or 3 times that quarter.
Conversely, for the Hawks, they had 193 yards of total offense, but again, they had 163 at halftime, so only 30 after the break, and only 2 net yards on the ground. They ended up carrying 27 times for 86 yards. Jackson Land, 8 carries for 38. Colby Lowe, 6 carries for 16. Colton Dickey had 4 totes for 15 yards, and Jordan Curtis, again, a pretty well a newcomer in there, really looking better each game he comes out. He had 5 carries for a total of 26, and Cole Cooper sacked 3 times in the game tonight. Between Cole Cooper and Jackson Land, they were a combined 4 out of 8. 2 interceptions, but they did have 107 yards, but most of that came on that 73-yard touchdown pass from Cooper to Jackson Land. Jordan Curtis caught 2 passes for 24 yards, and Colton Dickey had 1 for a total of 10. 7 first downs tonight for the Hawks, 5 on the ground, 1 through the air, 1 by penalty. But again, those third down conversions continue to be problematic for the second straight game, just 1 out of 9 in that area. They didn't do badly, though, on fourth down conversions, where they were able to connect on 3 out of their 4 attempts. 2 turnovers hurt them as well. Both of those were interceptions in the contest. Neither team committed a lot of penalties, but it seemed like when Valley committed them, they were at crucial times. All minor infractions, 5 penalties for 25 yards. Mitchell committed just 1 penalty. That was for 5. Tyson James, 1 punt tonight for 32 yards. Cole Cooper had 2, averaging 35 between the 2 boots. That's the way the numbers stack up, but on the scoreboard, it's the Jackets that will head back to Mitchell with the victory. They're now 1-1 on the year, 1-0 in conference play. The Hawks dropped to 0-2 on the season, now 0-1 in league action. And, of course, coming up, as we talked about and previewed, and we will here after the break, big game for Valley coming up next week with the Orange Bowl, the Paley Rams coming to town. Final again, 29-8. Mitchell defeats Springs Valley tonight on the Fast Steady scoreboard. We'll take our final break and wrap things up when we come back to Springs Valley High School in a moment. This is Springs Valley High School football.
Have you checked out DriveBedford.com? You should, because Bedford Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has huge savings going on during their summer clearance event. Right now, get a new 2018 Ram 2500 with diesel engine and get up to $7,635 in total value. Or lease a new 2019 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for $399 a month. Check out their deals and inventory by going online to DriveBedford.com. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
What's better than enjoying a fine meal at 33 Brick Street in French Lick? savoring each mouthwatering bite on their outdoor patio and courtyard. Enhance your 33 Brick Street dining experience by taking in the open air during these warm months. Their patio and courtyard, featuring a fire pit, is perfect for special occasions or events, including wedding receptions, anniversaries, birthdays, and more. They can even design a special menu for your event. Make your reservations by calling 33 Brick Street at 936-3370. That's 936-3370. 33 Brick Street in downtown French Lick. Good food, all in a legendary atmosphere.
A message from Springs Valley Meadows and French Lick.
As we age, recuperating from an illness or surgery may take more time than it used to. It's important for you to follow your doctor's discharge orders and include physical, occupational, and speech therapies when needed. Skimping on post-hospitalization therapy can cause potential falls and infections. So do it for yourself and do it for the ones you love.
The road to recovery begins at Springs Valley Meadows and French Lick, where caring people make the difference.
Call us at 936-9991.
Go Blackhawks and go to Dairy Queen of Springs Valley for the DQ Reese Outrageous. It's the August blizzard of the month. And remember, you get $5 off DQ frozen cakes in the display case every Monday at Dairy Queen of Springs Valley. Back for the final time here in French Lick. Hawks fall tonight to the Mitchell Blue Jackets 29-8, the final score. This one tied up at 8. In fact, the Hawks scored on their first play from scrimmage. Mitchell answered with a touchdown to tie it up. Stayed that way till halftime, but the Jackets really controlled things. 3 unanswered scores in the second half of play to pull away from this one to win it by that 29-8 final count. And I don't think it's any secret, Kevin, what the Hawks need to do. Defense, again, not playing that badly. And, again, we've talked about having to replace Braden Whitaker, a 3-year starting quarterback. As we said, Rome wasn't built in a day, and things looked a little better than last week. Certainly, of course, dry weather this week as opposed to last week, but hopefully as these kids get more practice time, more reps, things will start to come a little more smoothly.
Yeah, I think so, Mike. Of course, yeah, it's a tough, you're always going to lose kids from graduation, but when you lose Wyatt Perkaiser and, Braden, you got 2 guys that were really, for a couple of years, they're really able to make big plays for you, explosive plays. And, Valley got better as the season went on last year, and were able to put, several points up on the board. I think it's a different style team this year. I like what, Jackson's got all kinds of talent, Jackson Land, and Cole Cooper threw the ball nice. The first pass tonight was just a beautiful pass. So they've got some skilled kids. I thought Kobe Lowe looked better tonight and got him on a fast field. So it's a matter of being able to finish off drives, and like I said, going to have to play some games where you come out on top, 20-14 or 14-8, and I think Valley's capable of doing that. I think their defense will continue to get better as the year goes on.
Maybe next week, as tough as these first 2 opponents have been, the Paoli Rams may be the toughest.
Oh, yet. I think there's no doubt about that. Oh, besides Eastern Green's defense. I don't think Paoli would be any better defensively than what Eastern was. Now, total team, where as far as moving the ball offensively, Paoli's got some speed, quickness, and they're going to be probably one of the better teams we face this year. But it's a rivalry game. It's one where our kids will play hard, and it'll be it'll be an exciting game, and just a matter of see how Paoli came out tonight with Corden, and they'll come down. Hawks will be 0-2, and more than likely, Paoli will be 2-0. So, it'd be nice to get them into the fourth quarter and, get a big conference win.
All right, looking forward to it next week.
Okay, thanks a lot, Mike.
Here tonight, Brandon Brazel rushes for over 150 yards, scores twice, and the Jackets score 21 unanswered points in the second half as they pull away to a 29-8 victory over Springs Valley. Jackets improved to 1-1 on the year as they win their first conference game. The Hawks now 0-2 on the season. They are now 0-1 in league play. And as a matter of a little trivia, I guess, this was the 9th time Troy Pritchett has gone up against his alma mater, 4 times with West Washington and now 5 with Mitchell. And Troy now 5-4 all time against his former school. Mark Hammond now 2-6 all-time against Mitchell. Jackets draw a little bit closer in the overall series. Valley still leads them, though, at 31-26. For Valley, again, leading the way, rushing Jackson Land. He had 8 carries for 38 yards, and Jordan Curtis caught 2 passes tonight for 24, but not enough as the Hawks dropped their third in a row to the Jackets, the third in a row here on this field to Mitchell as well. They'll try to bounce back next week in maybe their biggest game of the year against the Paoli Rams. As always, we're grateful to our many advertisers who have allowed us to bring this game into your home car business wherever you might be tuning in, and we're especially appreciative of the cooperation we've received from our participating schools, so we send a thank you to the administration and coaches for both Springs Valley and Mitchell High Schools. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast as much as it has been our pleasure and privilege to bring it to you. A couple of program reminders. We'll have our Springs Valley edition of Sports Chat coming up on Wednesday night, and then make sure you're with us for our next broadcast of Blackhawks football 1 week from tonight. We'll stay here at the Hawks Nest. It's the big Orange County showdown as the Paoli Rams come to town. 7 o'clock kickoff, our broadcast coverage to begin at 6:35. For our studio engineer this evening, Adam Hull, our statisticians and field engineers, Stevie McNew and Tanya Perez, and for Coach Kevin Mills, this is Mike Hamilton, bidding you a fine and pleasant farewell from the Hawks Nest in French Lick, where tonight's final score on the Fast Eddie's Country Store and Deli scoreboard was the Mitchell Blue Jackets 29, the Springs Valley Blackhawks 8. This is Springs Valley High School football.
WFLQ, the sports voice of the Valley, thanks you for listening to tonight's presentation of Springs Valley Blackhawk football. Tonight's game's been brought to you by Smithfield, offering DSL and fast internet service to customers, another way to serve you better. Sullivan Financial, Raymond James and Associates Investments, Highway 60 and 9th Street in Mitchell. Springs Valley Meadows, formerly Medco, Highway 145, French Lick. Bedford Ford Chrysler at the River in Bedford. Edwards Heating and Cooling, your train dealer in Mitchell. B&L Auto Repair, the corner, 8th and Grissom in Mitchell. Roots RV on Highway 37, just north of Mitchell. Woolston Automotive, May Street in downtown Mitchell. 33 Brick Street, good food and legendary atmosphere in downtown French Lick. And by Springs Valley Bank and Trust Company, with offices in French Lick, Jasper, and Paoli. You can best show your appreciation for this broadcast by telling and patronizing our sponsors. Tune in all season long to hear Springs Valley High School football here on your power station for sports, Q100 WFLQ French Lick.